take us somewhere else. Hopefully, I'm just hoping, man. 6 games at least. 6 quality cinematic games is what I'm hoping for.
Here's what I predicted.
That's what you did?
Yeah.
Redmar, what'd you predict?
Oh, Game 7.
Game 7?
Yes, sir.
I didn't predict it all. All right, let's jump into the draft here. Again, 91% for Team Liquid over here on this blue side. 16-0. Again, this is their map. Flying Clouds, no one has taken them down. Off it, maybe Team Falcons. Maybe the flight will help them in this one.
They like to fight.
They like to fight and flight.
That's what basically this says for Liquid as they take out the Kalea, the Guinevere, and the Suyo. Oh my god, that latter pick is something that the Phenom Kyle has been kicking butt with all throughout the season. I'm surprised why teams still give it to him. I love that Coach Snap and Coach Aeon respect that.
Are we going to end up with a Leomord Harley priority here? You're probably not going to first pick the Harley for Team Liquid Philippines within the presence of the Leomord, but they can get their signature pick for Teddy right away. I wouldn't be so surprised if they just lock in the Claude right now, put some confidence on a young man, his first Grand Finals game, but he said, no, we still want to keep blocking Falcons picks. They pick up the Marcel, and this has been the approach so far for Liquid in the draft. Just a lot of blocks.
Yep, the Marcel's great because, again, you can do a whole lot with this. You can build a composition that's going to highlight this. Again, the Gord has been making waves throughout the meta right now. This ends up working out really well with the Marcel if they decide to go and put that in the hands of Sanji. We'll see if that happens. Team Falcons on the other side can most likely pick up the Claude now. Pick up the Claude, take that away from Teddy.
It has to be. But the problem with that is, yes, you pick up the Claude, but then the Harith with the Marcel actually does very well. Against the Marcel, bad. So I think our Harith is going to be coming in for Tlph later. For Falcons, maybe see if you can pick away a mid or EXP. And it is a mid. Haji on this Valentino was key and instrumental to their victory against Onyx PH yesterday. Considering that the Ju Sin could be a pickup for Team Liquid Philippines, the Eve is good. And that might force them to go for Valentina.
Okay. Valentina, probably the Harith. I don't know if they'll decide to, if they just wait for the jungle pick here, especially given the fact that one or two of the top most picked junglers are banned out right now.
The Harley Leomord trade is still up.
Yeah.
If ever it's going to be the Harley Leomord trade, if Liquid want to block maybe a utility-style jungler from Falcons, that would be good, because the Fredrin is still an option. But Liquid keeps playing defense on their drafts by taking away some of the best picks of Falcons.
Okay, so are we saying they're playing defense in the draft so that they can have all the offense in game?
Yes. Because when you have a roam jungle duo such as the Marcel and the Fredrin has a lot of space to potentially invade because you're constantly getting information with the Marcel. While of course the Paquito now, Falcons has to consider, number one, picking up the Esmeralda early, but kind of awkward. Then the other option is they rush a Benedetta, one of the few heroes that can match what Paquito does right now in terms of the fast wave clear and fast rotates.
And then in conjunction, you lose out on Kyle's picks.
Yes.
There's been a lot of Esmeralda though too, with the chance that this is also probably a Harith.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're gonna go that way. They'll lock in their jungler, Leomord. You mentioned it earlier. So they lock it in. This is first phase, solid on both sides. There's a clear plan here. I do like what Team Falcons is doing because this goes ahead and it gives them that box. We mentioned this yesterday. It was pivotal in their matchup against Onyx. They needed to go in and fight into that box, and that just happens to be the real-world manipulation with the Eve here.
Yeah, the difficult thing about the Falcons combination is with the Leomord, you want to be able to get early wins.
Well, let's see. We're going to throw it over to the on-ground panel to break it down a little further.
Thank you so much to our casters. And over here at the on-ground channel would be me, Brigida, together with Wolf, our analyst for today. And kanina nakita na natin, isang kagulat-gulat na pag-prioritize ng Team Falcons on the Eve in the first phase. Ano masasabi natin tungkol dito?
I think, Briggs, ito ay parang deny pick as well as parang naging comfort na rin nila na develop throughout the playoffs. Nakita natin yesterday, the reason why they won against Onyx is nung ginamit nilang Eve up against the Jushin na happens to be open pa rin up until this point. So, I doubt na mapipili yung Jushin dito. Alam mo, laging contested yung hero na yon. But in this grand final, baka mag-decide ang dalawang teams na hindi na. Kaya nga, Gord nga yung binaban nila dito not the Jushin for Tlph.
So they will be willing to leave that open. And I think isa rin ito sa mga moments na talagang napapatanong ako kung ano yung mga magiging response ng Liquid in terms of the picks. But just the same, Team Falcons, I'm wondering, since the Paquito is open and the focus is once again taken out, what do you see as a potential response na manggagaling din naman sa Team Falcons for this pick? Kasi wala na rin yung Esmeralda.
Yeah, I think yung Benedetta, na nakita rin natin yesterday. Itong Esmeralda, nakagulat na parang hindi kinuha agad ng Team Falcons despite them having a lot of options para kay Kai. Lalo na katapat kasi Fred rin eh. So, kailangan nilang mag-isip ng iba pa. Like, pag naman yung Benedetta dito, like, what is your actual answer to the Pakito? Siguro, maiiwan sila with Derizla. Kaso, hindi nila kukunin yun up until lumabas yung Valentina or kung ano man yung mage pick para dito kay Sanji.
And at the same time, I feel like nakita natin kung ano yung pwedeng maging implications ng isang slower paced na EXP lane for Falcons. And na-highlight pa naman sa ating keys to victory na kailangan talagang maging aggressive lang all throughout the early ang Team Liquid Philippines. Even the Atlas though, gets taken out. Bakit kaya?
Well, siguro kasi gusto nilang kumuha ng stationary na mid laner dito. Maybe Akimi, for example, para hindi sila mahirapan kung sali. Or maybe they want to go for Valentina para dito para kunin yung Eve kung sakali. Alam mo yung mga team, sabi nila sa akin hindi daw sila takot sa Valentina kung Atlas sila. Actually, parang mas lamang pa yung Atlas kapag merong Valentina. So I think that could be a consideration here for Tlph.
Yep, great way ang isang Atlas na nakapag-close in din bigla-bigla, magugulat ka na lang, no? Pero here we are awaiting if they will go for the Roam or EXP lane pick and instead they go for the Hilda. So I believe this will be a Master Ogwen hero in the meantime. But a bigger question mark for a lot of us right now is what also could be the Teddy pick? Kasi
Yun
baka
na
yung
nga
Valentina, yun na yung maging consideration for Sanji. But Teddy, wala na yung Harit, wala na yung...
Baka mapwersa silang mag-carry kasi dito para masagutin yung Hilda. But it doesn't really counter itong Eve. In fact, mahihirapan siya dun sa Eve kung sakali mag-carry dito. However, maganda naman yung carry versus the Claude in the laning stage. Another option here is the Bruno. But I feel like mas mag-focus lang sila dito. Kung hard carry, Obsidia could also be a consideration. But there's the carry, as we did say, and the Kimi. Yun din yung mga sinabi natin pipiliin nilang Falcons. Etong Hilda, pwede maging roamer na lang. Minsan na EXP. And you're gonna be looking for somewhere along the lines of an Arlot here para sa Falcons. Kasi meron siyang synergy with the Eve at maganda siya kung sakali laban sa isang Pakito at as well as this carry. Last option siguro dito yung Benedetta pa rin pero may damage yung Falcons. But I feel like top option dito, number 1 is that Arlot. Number 2, Benedetta. 3 maybe, they can consider the Terizla. Kaso baka matunaw nga lang pero yun, one of the considerations din yan.
Yeah, and because of the Hilda, I feel like they will be a bit more flexible when it comes to their EXP lane pick kasi meron naman na magiging in charge nung panggugulo mo talaga in the early stages of the game. And you would potentially expect to see Master Owen all over the map, though not necessarily directly, no, na magiging panggulo. But kakasabi ko lang ng gulo, they pick up the glue.
So even when there's a carry on the opposite end na pwedeng mangtunaw nga kapag hindi mo na timing yung second skill mo, magiging glue pa rin ang kanilang priority dito.
Alright. Super fans, you may scan the QR code and predict the match winner correctly for a chance to win 1,000 MLBB Diamonds. Marahaba-haba pa ang ating magiging gabi dito, Wolf. Pero so far, looking at the drafts, kanino ka ba mas papabor sa ngayon?
I like the Kimi and the carry. Ito yung na-expect natin doon sa second phase. Just looking at the banning coming out from Tlph, parang ito yung sinasabi ng draft nila. So, I like this ender para sa Tlph.
Alright, and there we have our drafts locked in for game number 1. San Juan Arena! Papasok na tayo sa ating game number 1. Ibato na natin sa ating mga casters.
We have waited weeks, if not months, to lead up to this point in MPL Philippines Season 17. We've gone through rivalry after rivalry. Well, what matters now is the clash of the Titans. Let's jump into this best of 7 grand finals. Game 1, will it be Tlph or Falcons to get the first blood in the series?
It might be a little bit easier here for Tlph to do that.
Hey, flat easy! Gets a shield, forces a flicker. Out of 40. Action the opening seconds of the game.
Yeah, what a good read there, actually. Knowing that he already hit level 2, he went into the bush, flap, to get just a little bit of shield. And since Sanford was still at level 1, he could not take the risk of eating up a combo.
Whoa. Oh my lord, Open here put down about a sliver of health. What are these Titans up to?
They're trying to poke. They know they have to be aggressive.
JP put down a 5th. And Falcons are just checking.
Yeah, so as I was saying it earlier, it might be easier for Tlph to get first bloods, and Falcons know this, so they're upping the tempo, they're continuing their invade. As I mentioned earlier, they are taking pages off of Onyx's book with the early game rotations, with the sudden swerve. We thought that maybe that glue would go into the Roam, or excuse me, the EXP, but then they switched it up, which makes it a little bit easier to manage the Paquito as the Hilda. So instead of looking at the center, they look to the side and the presence of the Paquito.
So interesting because, you know, how many times have we seen Ogwin now pick up this glue pick? Whether it was originally planned or they just swerved it out, that's fine. Ogwin, for the most part, he's felt a lot of deaths on it, right, throughout the playoffs so far, and I feel like at the same time, this lineup, this ability to go ahead and bring in the Hilda, to go ahead and allow him and to alleviate some of the pressure on him, will help Team Falcons approach the fights better, because before, it was mostly Ogwin playing up that front side. Flap.
Oh, whoa. Here comes Kyle, calls in Barbiel. Stampedes through the two members of Liquid. JP checking range. Ogwin spacing him out. They go for the turtle.
Okay,
It'll be good.
They go for the turtle. Sanji's around the corner. Doesn't have the traction pulse yet. Flap's really low. So Falcons might have to give this up. There's no Phantom Steed either.
Hodges and RWA pulls it out. And in comes JP. Turtle gets reset. Ogwin put down a third of his health. No one to mount just yet. So Flap just forced the flicker back. A lot of ult spent by Falcons this early on.
Looks like it's going to be a win for Team Liquid Philippines and Turtle #1. They don't need to keep the aggression up. They go back into their rotations. I love what I'm seeing from these two so far. It really feels like I'm watching a more chess-like version of MLBB, maximizing every ability, every battle spell, and not giving away a meaningless kill.
Shades of the early exchange from Falcons versus Onyx last night.
Yeah.
There was a team fight wherein Haji also pulled out the item a little early, which led to the opponent getting the objective. Falcons gotta fix that.
Yeah, he also had some clutch ones, you know, and so Golden Hour going to be used here. Not sure if there's going to be much. It's mostly on Ogwin. He's going to go ahead and survive that again. This glue tanky enough to deal with some of this early pressure damage.
Yeah, Kimmy plus the Marcel together is like a Granger and a Marcel. You freeze up all of those projectiles you've charged up outside of the Golden Hour, then once it comes out, a big burst of damage. So, as awkward as it is for Ogwin, he needs to prioritize the Radiant Armor here. He needs that extra magic defense to survive the pokes coming in from that Kimmy. Despite them, yes, being a Fredrin and a Paquito, you have to look at the magic defense to keep yourself alive.
Yep, over on the gold lane too, you know, we've talked about the whole golden royale that we had here throughout MPL Philippines Season 17. Super Marco solved that. He, you know, got the upper hand against Severo, who was so impressive throughout the season. And then you have this point where Super Marco on the Claude, the most winningest gold laner, up against a carry who needs more time to go in and build up. But so far, we've seen Claude's just play so well in so many different compositions. Super Marco specifically seems to be handling the lane fine against the carry.
It's good also that despite us ending up with a Fred and Leomord matchup, it's not the, okay, everyone just farm up, manage your lanes, and then let's go ahead and see each other in the turtle. They're still trying to find small wins and skirmishes in the river. More modern style, old school objective-based MLBB. So yes, we might not see a lot of kills, but we will see a lot of action because of those little trades.
Yeah, I think that's why, again, you know, that K2V for both teams, micro is important, but even the macro, the objectives, we've seen sort of an evolution of the, you know, turtle and lord dances.
Neither have to be forgotten. You have to be good on both.
Yeah.
So if Falcons keep slipping up these micro decisions, they're not even going to get to these minute-long lord dances.
Yeah, Sanford brought Flap low. Flap got the recall, and now he's coming back.
Oh, Cloud's in. And there's a golden hour to stop the turtle take. Down to an eighth of itself. Ogwin spacing out Carl. Sanji wailing away. RWF Sanji still secures. And in comes Kyle with a Phantom Steed. Now JP very low. Gets hit with that momentum to the face. And in comes first blood drawn by Sanji. Kyle falls, so does Ogwin. This is looking bad. Blazing to win at the back line. Super Marco not finding anyone. 3 plus the turtle going over to Liquid.
Just when you thought Team Falcons would pull off that turtle take, they end up losing 3.
Yeah, both retributions coming out early, actually. Carl Teasy and Kyle just both had, if I'm not mistaken, maybe less than 100 health on that turtle, which was surprising enough. Sanji being able to get the last hit. So with Team Liquid Philippines getting the last hit on the turtle, they were encouraged to fight. They got that. Now they got a tower up top. They might be able to get a good push down bottom, which means Super Marco's room to farm is starting to run out. Falcons needs to start patching holes here, or Team Liquid Philippines will be able to start stampeding. Considering that this is a Fredrin that is packing the support emblem set, you get more cooldown reduction, and after that, it's brute force breastplate. Even more cooldown reduction, less time getting crowd control. This Fredrin can snowball.
Oh, they baited out a response out of Marco.
Like that.
Goes in BMI through. 4 members of Liquid down bottom. I was about to say, why would they send Marco away preemptively when there was a fight breaking out?
Oh.
Blazing the wet in the face as they take down Sanji. But Stanford knocks out Marco, and the fight continues as Ogwin falls. Flap and Haji wonder, where did Ogwin and Marco go?
Not worth it there on the trade. Super Marco uses Purify, but didn't expect that.
Easy intercepting the back line as Haji gets taken down. Daddy JP finds him, and now they take down Flap. Flap fighting a losing fight here as the turret falls, so does he.
They just don't stop. Team Liquid finds a moment of weakness and they keep pressing.
They are stampeding. We're talking about the Marcel and the Fredrin, a very oppressive duo. They're still going!
Oh my lord, Marco! Appraiser's wrath to the face underneath tier 2.
That is an angry goat if I've seen one.
What just happened to Marco? Oh,
And they still keep going as Haji gets taken down. Ogwin does find them out. In comes Flap. This is a losing fight. Kyle calls in, but be able to get caught in the golden hour. Oh, how is this going to elapse? As in comes Seti from the side lanes, and they take down Flap. TLPH, 7.5 minutes in, are all gas, no brakes. Not what I mean.
This is the Liquid Stampede we have seen all season long. And they're going to go for Kyle.
Will not survive. Sanford's packing dynamite in his hands.
Way too quickly. After that turtle loss, Liquid did everything perfectly with how they managed the map, with Falcons sending Marco to bot. Teddy was free to push, and you saw the chain of kills. This is just excellence in execution by Liquid. Good old Stampede.
Man, again, looking at this, an 8,000 gold lead around the 8-minute mark is something you don't often see.
Liquid are proliferating gold like they want to buy RAM.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Can I get some of that?
Can we all get some of that? Right now, Team Falcons has had enough of it. They're looking for more.
Butterbeal called in by Kyle. There was just a feint as Liquid looks for more elsewhere on the map.
Okay.
They're really tough. Falcons, they have to find this weird balance of getting their utility items, but getting their good items to start chipping away at Team Liquid Philippines. Crowdy's used Red 3.
There's the pulse, and Flap taking a face full of hits from Sanji. JP looking to catch him in the platinum snap, and they let go.
Yep, they're going to let go of that one, but again, they're going to go ahead and get a turret. Whoa, Stanford!
Kyle running away from Terry Bogard
Got the
and
combo!
gets his man. Stanford finds another, and they continue to pressure. Carl Easy, Praiser's Wrath, 3v4. Falcons not going to force the issue here. Ogwin caught out once more.
The jabs and the combos are so clean from Sanford on this Paquito.
It's poetry in motion. It is the greatest orchestra you've never heard, yet you see, you feel it in your soul. Yes, I gotta glaze Liquid right now, because what the hell are we seeing? This is some beautiful execution from Team Liquid. Macro, micro, everything is going perfectly for the cavalry.
You have to look across the board in these lanes here, just how massively ahead every single department. At this point, Team Liquid has game one under wraps. You know, this is so difficult for Team Falcons to keep up with because you're going through this kind of deficit, this kind of difference in economy that even if you're trying to go ahead and send your frontline guys, they're just punching bags at this point. They're sure kills for TL.
Everything that follows from here is just procedure. Unless something goes very drastically wrong for Liquid, Falcons are not going to come back from this.
Yeah.
Haji only has a glowing wand still on the way to his second item. Even a divine glaive would not help him out right now. A massive lead between the two gold laners with Teddy sitting at over 2,000 against the Claude. Still doesn't have the Trinity, but even with the Trinity up, you're still going to be waiting for the next item after that. What Liquid has done here is an evolution of what we've seen of the double marksman, double carry style of strategy, because they have an EXP laner that is much more high damage dealing and fast at rotating. It speeds up.
Okay, Haji pops that real world manipulation in hopes to defend. Sanford's inside, compromising Flap as they switch targets over to the inhibitors. Falcons can keep their inhibitors. Liquid is taking the disciplined route.
Yep, they'll keep them up. Base turrets, though, did take some damage here. TL, with this kind of lead, looks to go ahead and potentially take down a base turrets off of this, too. They know the RWM is used. We'll see if Haji gets it back. There's the mid turret, going to be worked on.
Kyle taking hits from Sanji. Down goes that mid lane inhibitor, and Ogwin getting annihilated. Super Marco blazing duet. Backwards as the golden hour is brought out by JP. Teddy takes down the bottom lane, top lane left. The only bastion for Falcons. Their base is about to get stormed.
Got the wave in mid. I don't know if I can recall seeing this kind of lead in the MPL Philippines Season 17 yet. 14,000 gold under the 12-minute mark is absolutely insane for Team Liquid on this Stampede in Game 1. Team Falcons hold on to one base turret. What do they do here? Is this one of those situations where you have to start just thinking, we got to go again?
Yeah, they have to turtle it out, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're already thinking, oh, go next.
Yeah.
See what we can do so that we don't end up with that kind of lineup again from Team Liquid PH. And, well, if you want to look back at history with gold gaps like these, Falcons is the only team in MPL PH history to make a comeback down 16,000 gold. Was that 2 seasons ago or last
Against
season?
Aurora.
Yeah, against Aurora. Do they have another DNA, but then this Liquid team is just different, man. This lineup, it's way too difficult to make a comeback through. Again, it's a double carry with a somewhat carrying the EXP.
RWM trying to put down JP. Ogwin gets the mount, they pick off Daddy JP. Flap gets taken down by Teddy, and Super Marco barely survives. One for one.
They just want to chase Ogwin down. At least that move right there buys Team Falcons some time in the game.
Oh, there's the pulse thrown out to cancel the conceal. Ogwin with a split.
Oh,
just
Ogwin.
wasting time here.
Yeah.
Throws out the glueling. Krabby Patty sits, and he's already wasted more than a minute of Liquid's time. I think this is mission accomplished for Ogwin. Hey, one more! Ogwin does the impossible! A 1-for-1 trade! Where the hell did that come from?
That's only the 3rd kill. They're probably not going to get a lot of it. But holy crap, Ogwin, that was pretty cool.
That was the most Patrick Star thing I've seen so far. Uh-oh, Flap.
Another pulse thrown out. Flap just scrambling to get into a bit of brush there. I'm still not over how he did that.
Hey.
There are Falcons to my right and then behind us laughing.
Yes.
They're probably thinking we're still probably going to lose this game, but at least we got that.
At least we got to see that. Hey, maybe this is brings it to a point. Could Team Falcons go for just the Hail Mary play and try to take out the Lord and a retry steal?
Hey, they shaved off 3K.
They did. Small baby step.
Gotta mean something.
Small Patrick step in the right direction, man.
Imagine what if that is the turning point of a comeback? I mean, probably not, but cool. Falcons can't even get any opening of the map because Liquid are still taking care of their map. They realize that Falcons would still want to get the tower up top, so instead of sending a 5-man around the Lord pit, you don't need it. They keep Sanford there, and Sanford was more than enough to stop Falcons from trying to even push up top.
Yeah, I like this. Of course, the build that Sanford's going, because we've seen a couple different versions of the Paquito right now. So he's just got the wings, the Oracle for some defense, but he's able to go ahead and pump out enough damage too, just because of the damage items he got.
In hindsight, most Paquitos just build the same way at the end.
Yeah.
It's just what you prioritize first. And here, Sanford said, you know, I'm going for knockouts. He starts to build damage first now. Liquid looking to siege that tier 3 up top. Count Easy very low. Left Easy looking for it. In comes Barbiel. Blazing duet by Marco. Compromising one. And Cold Easy falls. Golden Hour able to save him. RWM finds no one as Kyle falls before anything else could happen for Falcons.
Okay, so Falcons keep going onto Fredrin. Wait, hold that thought, sorry.
Conceal use. JP going for the back.
Going for it. There's a tracking shot. Lord still standing. Super Marco and Flap use everything to try and take care of this wave. Lord wailing away. Sanji blasting them for the Falcons, and that's it. Liquid are first to the board. Take it, game 1.
Dominant. Almost a bit of a stumble there, but they started galloping away.
Draft for this series, kinakailangan pang ibawi ng Falcons at ipantay ito. But Liquid so far have shown great momentum in the start. At makukumpirma na nga natin, Wolf, yes, Falcons will be on the red side.
Expanding Rivers. Paquito first pick para sa TLPH. Falcons,
Wow.
what is your answer? So, ban pa rin ang Guinevere? With the Paquito being banned, being first pick here by Tlph, pwedeng nakawin ng Falcons yung Claude or, again, the Eve is an option. Pwede rin naman yung Esmeralda as the third pick. I'm thinking Suyu and Eve ang sagot ng Falcons sa mga ganitong scenario.
So Eve, so we will still want Falcons to stick with the deny on the Eve dahil doon nga naman sila mas nagkakaroon ng limitations for Liquid. And it also helps kasi isa sa mga parang nakita nating key strengths talaga ng Falcons so far, yung talagang pagkaka-establish nila nung box nila.
Yes.
And I think that was something that they attempted to do but clearly failed because of how well Liquid have manipulated the beginning of that game. But instead of the Eve pick, Suyu Claude.
Suyu Claude. Alright, so instead of Suyu Eve, it's going to be Suyu Claude, still the same. And will Sanji pick up the Eve? That's the question. Meron pa rin chance na kumuha ng Fred rin dito ang Tlph, knowing na damage na rin kasi yung EXP nila. But this will be under the impression na may third pick na Esmeralda. Harith and Fred rin na kanilang kukunin. Talagang tinitare nilang mag-Esmeralda ang Falcons. I really think this should be an Esmeralda third pick para sa Falcons.
But if they do go for the Esmeralda pick, hindi ba ito something na napo-foresee ng Liquid? And wala na silang gold laner. They could not potentially pick up the carry anymore. If any, ay na-encourage pa nga nila again, as you said, because of the Harith pick, yung Esmeralda pickup.
Yeah.
So where else could they really expect that damage to deal with the Esmeralda?
Yeah.
Or, diba?
Tama ka doon. Kasi parang ang idea doon ay magkaanap ka na ng mga malakas talaga mga tunaw like the Lunox for example or even the Kimi. So siguro doon manggagaling yung kanilang sagot. But apart from that, just because of the fact na parang kinawasyon na agad natin, there is the Esmeralda as we did expect. Talagang, alam mo yung nararamdaman ko dito para sa Tlph, alam nila na Esmeralda na yung pick kasi hindi posible na mag-pick ka ng Paquito at as well as Harith nang hindi mo iniisip yung Esmeralda na pwedeng sagot ng kalaban mo. So, I think the answer for the Esmeralda will come from the mid lane. Somewhere along the lines of Kimi and the Lunox kung sakali.
Yeah.
Pero malabo din kasi yung Lunox kasi hindi siya meta. So, Kimi and Eve, possible bans here para sa Falcons.
Last time I checked, yung stats din natin would say na Lunox was only picked once in this entire season and that was only from Lancy. So, hindi na natin siya nakita lumabas ulit. And Falcons can afford to also take out potential threats towards this pick. But instead, they will focus down muna on JP and ano na kaya ang talagang magiging pansagot ng Liquid dito? Kasi parang ang hirap naman nasabayan na lang sa sustain.
We'll see. With the Eve being banned, this tells us na may Jushin pa na pwede nilang kunin. So siguro, ang way nila para sagutin yung Esmeralda is not through heroes, pero parang dun sa mga rotation. Kasi nga naman, in fairness with the Esmeralda, mahina siya in the first 8 minutes of the game. Hindi pa siya ganun ka hirap i-deal with. But when pag dumating na tayo dun sa point na gano'n, doon na siya magiging problema. So, siguro ganun yung magiging sagutin ng Tlph. And how do they achieve that? Have a strong mid. Hilda and Jushin yung pwede nilang kunin or the Khalid plus the Jushin para mataas yung kanilang kanilang early game potential. So, Falcons might just go for the Hilda ban as their last ban o kaya naman yung Jushin. Or the Khalid, I mean. There is the Khalid. So, Hilda yung matitira dito para sa Tlph.
Yeah, they'll leave it open. I was also thinking about the Hilda because even though may shields din yan occasionally na may expect mula sa kanya, ay ito naman yung kumbaga magiging katumbas na rin naman ng Marcel. And that was something that really enabled them to go for that kind of rotation nung game number 1 kanina for Liquid. Yung napaka-fast-paced na beginning. Atlas again. Okay.
So I think this is Kimi and Hilda na kung ganito yung banning. Pero meron ding angulo nung Selena or Mr. Sanji. I'm thinking Kimi, tapos Selena yung mga options yan. There is still the argument for the Zushin. However, Falcons gonna be looking for a flex pick dito. Pwede sila yung mag-Hilda, actually.
Yeah.
Para nakawin nila dito. At the same time, there's the high loss that they can also pick up. But the benefit from the Hilda, nakita naman natin na pwede siyang gamitin sa XP at roam. Pero this time kasi may SB na sila.
Yeah.
So, nanakawin yung Zushin.
Okay. Now I'm thinking if willing din sila na hayaan na lang ang Hilda, the blue option for Owen is also still
That's right.
available. So I think that will also be a potentially great response if ever they do proceed with the Hilda.
I think Hylos Kimi yung best answer dito para sa Tlph. So what you achieve from the Hylos is yung Glorious Pathway, so hindi kayo masuslow down, makakapiglas kayo dun sa Zushin. And additionally, yung makukuha mong damage from the Kimi, eventually magiging enough siya against Esmeralda. At maganda pa sa Kimi, strong lane siya up against this Zushin. Right? So I feel like this is the answer for Tlph. Siguro yung outlier dito is Hylos plus the Selena. And the glue as well.
Oh, they get the glue.
And the Gord pa rin. Interesting.
Okay.
So this leaves them susceptible sa Hilda from Ogwen. Especially because they just picked up this Gord. So parang pwede nilang constantly guluhin dito.
I can only imagine kung ano ang magiging stress na pagdadaanan mo with the Hilda Esmeralda.
Yes.
Potentially trying to always break your formations as Liquid, considering that they've picked up this Gord, which is, again, a very positioning-reliant mid laner. And you have all these high mobility heroes that Falcons have picked up so far.
This is so interesting kasi parang magre-rely na lang din sa damage ng Tlph sa kanilang mga windows of opportunity.
Oh!
Okay. What is that? That is...
Padang.
Oh, okay. So, di ko kasi kita from dito. But it's the Badang, which is generally good versus the Gord. Alam mo, ito ata ang game na maipapanalo ng Falcons from the early up until the late game. I think their draft is complete. Wala yata masyadong makakahawak dito sa Esmeralda. The only threat is the Gord in the early stages para sa Falcons, but they have the Padang for that one. So, I'm gonna give this game to Falcons.
On top of the fact na majority of the damage, I guess you would really expect in terms of magic muna sa side ng Team Liquid Philippines. So naririnig ko na ang side ng Falcons! Excited na ba kayo for game number 2? Paano naman ang Cavalry? Ibato na natin sa ating mga casters.
Here we go, game 2 upon us. Team Falcons got smacked in the face in game 1. This draft, I have to agree, should be able to go ahead and solidify a win here in game 2. And I have to say it too, man. As a Gord main, I'm a little scared of this lineup that Team Falcons brought.
Yeah, theory, on paper, very good. Double support emblem, you get one of the XP, one of the Badang, so they get way much faster cooldown reduction at the same time. Shields for themselves.
Ooh, that right there.
Good aggression in the mid by Ogren and Haji, knowing that they have the prio. But then how well will Falcons fare for Turtle 1s to 2? Because that's where they got trumped in the last one. If they do better then yeah, they can coast.
Uh-oh, throwing out that projectile. Sanji spots 3. Kyle comes through, force flicker out of 2 here. Already Liquid get flushed out of their own side, but Kyle Easy the GOAT slowly but surely mirroring the steal, and he gets away with it.
Oh, he gets away with it too.
Oh, and
and he got that.
Got that too.
That's not good if you're Team Falcons. They spent way too much time trying to mirror what Carl Teasy was just doing freely, right?
Yeah.
You can see that kind of minor delay is going to have an effect on Kyle for now.
Which is why I thought that after that Golem invade, Kyle would go to his own Lizard so that when he could clear Lizard, get Orange, then get Beetle, that's when he'll hit level 4. But, well, he decided to turn his rotation around. Then again, the Turtles spawning here. Still not that much dire straits here for Falcons. Let's just see if Kyle will be able to hit level 4 with this Lizard take. As Carl is already level 4. Yeah, he should be good. He should be good.
So he'll be okay for the first turtle. And, you know, part of this, again, is playing into the fact that you've got a lot of crowd control if you're Team Liquid Philippines. That's why there's 3 Purifies over here for Team Falcons. That's going to go ahead and help them solidify some of these team fights early on, especially. They've got control of the first turtle. Kyle will work on that while the rest of TL is in the zone. Carl Teasy will go ahead and walk up on this Fredrin, see if they find out for it.
Sanford taking that wide brush to the right. Quick knock up onto JP. Ogling steals the turtle. And now JP running away very low. Crimson Beacon on Sanji. Smashes Carl Easy in the middle of 3. Carl with a fade away. A Brazier tap. Still gets taken down, but can't get traded out 4. Super Marco early rotation. Blazing to it underneath tier 1. 1 for 1, but Falcons get the turtle.
Yeah, really good there that Sanji was able to get the missile projectile in the gush onto Kyle to secure that kill. Falcons would be able to get the turtle though. Still, Liquid got to balance it out. The EXP lane flap had to rush the Dreadnought armor because he is back in the support emblem. It's good, but the bad thing is you're not as tanky. You're very squishy. You get faster shields, but the Paquito can delete it.
Whoa! Speaking of, Sanford comes through. There's the crack and the punish from Falcons as Ogwin takes down 40.
I'm glad to see the Badang in action here in the hands of Ogren, who suffered a whole lot in game one. Now he's up 2-0, helping the tempo with this lineup from Team Falcons as they continue.
Flap right on Tlph's face. He knows how to play against his brethren. Appraiser's Wrath, but still Flap wants more.
Yeah, just sending him back. Kyle will be able to get the beetle here. Carl still makes it to his orange. So looking at the draft picture, wait, Ogwen.
Oh, no.
Mounted by Daddy JP. Flickers back. Some shields. Keeping him topped up. He's taking Daddy JP all the way this deep.
Another
and now
shield.
Ogwen gets a shield, survives. Crimson Beacon from Haji. Flap dancing around. JP will live.
Yeah, he knows he can survive, so that's why JP just went all the way there. He still had his flicker. 25 seconds until the next turtle. Kyle needs to regen some health, get his own buffs down. Carl TZ. I think you have to watch out for mainly the gourd and the placements of Haji on this Juicin. My eyes are on the two mid laners heading into this next turtle. Well, of course, watch out since it is spawning closer to the gold lane. Teddy and Super Marco can join in the fray. Could become a big 5v5.
I like what Wolf was mentioning in the draft, and again, I know for our international viewers that's in Filipino, but what he did mention is that there's no way for TL that they draft those first, heroes that they had in the first phase that are so shield dependent. You got an Esmeralda across from you. Is the gourd the plan to go ahead and help deal with this? Is there something else to deal with Flap? Before you answer that, here's the fight.
Kyle jumps on to Sanji. Sanji brings out the ordnance. Cutting through. Carl secures the turtle, but Sanji falls. Kyle gets him. And there's a wall put up, a crack, and Kyle just barely sidesteps away, but Sanford finishes the job. Liquid are pushing Falcons once again to fight, goading them into more aggression.
Yeah, to answer your question, Team Liquid Philippines definitely gave that, knowing that they'd be going up against an Esmeralda. It's just, if you look at the firepower of Liquid, there's a lot. That despite you being able to make a lot of shields as an Esme, the only other pick that's stopping Sanford is the Badang. But the Badang also has to mark, well, the Harith, the Gourd, even the Glue in some ways, but mainly the Fredrin. That it's not like the Kufra Esmeralda game they had against Onyx Philippines. It's a little bit, just a little bit easier for Sanford to get crafty with the angles that he's approaching from.
Yeah, this is another thing too. Both gold laners have essentially been able to go ahead and do what they need to farm up. They got an assist, of course, throughout that last team fight, but still they're neck and neck in terms of farm here. We'll see how they play in part here, because especially for Super Marco, he's got his DHS. He can be there for the next turtle. Both gold laners can, as we see this breakout. But another thing too for Team Falcons is this is that lineup, similar to what we were saying, where that lineup in game one, they should have played, maybe a little bit slow, but they just didn't get a chance to. Well, this, I feel like they're keeping the pace under control against Team Liquid. And that's the best case scenario for them with this kind of lineup. It's just more so also,
Kyle gets caught up, and here comes Ogwen to save him. And now Haji responds as well. Carl TZ put down to a third. Crimson Beacon. Carl TZ dashes back. Close call. Not much from Falcons here. They're not gonna force it.
Yeah, they know they couldn't force it because they didn't have the minion wave.
Oh, the gosh, right on Ogwen's face. No way he survives this. The master gets slain.
Did they not expect that there would be members of Liquid there? Because they just committed a big four-man. Most teams already know that there are going to be bodies. I know he was checking, but you're up against a gourd.
Yeah, this is the problem, right? This is what we were talking about, is the amount of crowd control that you have. And again, you have Fear Fines, but if your flicker is gone, Ogwen gets punished. So what that results to is the last turtle going in the hands of Team Liquid. The gold lead's going to shift, although it is just pretty minuscule. It's nothing too big, but TL, you'll see them start to go ahead and put pressure on the side of jungle for Team Falcons up to this point. Flap and Kyle, though, they want to go for this tier 1.
Oh, looking for that surge. It looks like 40's happy to just waste time here. Super Marco gets taken down. Max range on that gush, and all this while, they've been working on taking down the Apex Predator. Sanford does fall, but at what cost?
Yeah, the minion wave couldn't stand long enough for Falcons to break the tower. Marco got taken down topside. Not a good trade for Falcons.
Round 2, in mid. Ogwen puts up a wall, but JP is hell-bent on getting a mount. There's a crack. JP flickers back.
All right, JP's got to flicker out. This is going to be a tier 1. Kyle will go ahead and knock that down, man. They spent a lot of time at trying to get that objective. They will end up opening up the map a little bit, but also top side, look what happened. Right, their tier 2 took some damage. They pretty much mirror what TL is doing is mirroring what Team Falcons wants to do. And so it puts them in the situation of where do we put our guys? Where do we put our rotations more? And where's more important for Team Falcons?
Yeah, what's annoying right now for Falcons is if you We actually have numbers here with total damage dealt, damage taken. Very even in the gold, close enough. It's the total control time. 45 seconds for Team Liquid so far, just 23 for Falcons. So that extra amount of control that Liquid has is what's giving a lot of difficulty for Falcons in the fights.
Yeah.
It still could be brought closer, not that far off in terms of the gold, but they need to see if they can start getting more gold on this Juicin specifically, because Sanji is starting to run away with the lead.
Oh, point blank gush without any warning. A volley right in Marco's face. They catch Ogwin, force a flicker out of him. And now he answers with a crack. Haji looking to choke him up, but Sanji will finish the job.
Yep,
JP goes up, and there's a trade 1-for-1.
Good trade. They deal with that at least, but this is going to be a problem trying to work against all these amount of crowd controls and stuns that TL has.
Whoop! Flap here, caught in the crowd control, and there it is, another gush plus a Salmon Force. Might have been overkill. That's not what Falcons was looking for.
After all of that, Liquid still has almost double the total crowd control time. 53 seconds to Falcons 27.
Oh, look at that damage.
They force Haji back, another Crimson Beacon wasted. Liquid are looking to secure the Lord here, down to an eighth of its health. Kyle looking to steal, go through the back, and Tlph gets that Lord to wear a Liquid jersey.
This is the problem. Oh, Ogwin in trouble again.
He's caught between the walls, Salmon Force plus Gush. The GOAT secures the kill, and now they go for Kyle's purple.
Oh man, those projectiles just stopping them in their tracks. Purple's still there for Kyle to take. They pulled off of it. Sanji, quite low, has to get out.
Couldn't finish the job, but Sanji will live, staying here, hiding in the Y brush. A Brazer's Rat knocks out Flap. Talking about knockouts. Sanford looking for more, forcing a defensive. Surge, but Sanford will find a Marco with a brrrr. Blazing duet, taking down 40. There's the shutdown.
Yeah, Falcons needed to get something there because this is getting completely out of hand already. We talked about Turtle 2 and Turtle 3. That has extended up to Lord 1, with which Liquid was able to get freely, as we saw. Falcons will be able to stop this from getting any charges. Still somewhat close, but they're putting all of their eggs now on Super Marco at this point.
Yep.
Haji does have a Sky Piercer. Don't believe the graphic. That's only supposed to be one Sky Piercer. We're okay here. Don't worry. That's not two. There's not a new build you don't know about. But it seems like the drafting philosophy of Liquid for this series is just pack a lot of crowd control against a team that has a really good team fight. They've respected Falcons' ability to fight, what they showed off against Onyx, and they realized we can just bring back an old favorite. Spam Fredrin, pair it up with even more crowd control, damage EXP, old school favorite in a Paquito, and which is why this was an important match for Falcons to, game for Falcons to win. Because if they want this, then they're thinking already, okay, we still have an answer to Paquito. If even after the Esmeralda, even after the Badang, they still cannot take out the Paquito, then they have to start committing bans to take it away from Sanford.
Yeah, they won't want to take that away. They're trying to hold on to what they can in their base here. But this is the thing. Now you got a Divine Glaive.
Another projection plus Gush combo puts Flap at half.
Yeah, that Divine Glaive last pickup is enough. You know, it's been the Glowing Wand and the Lightning Tranchant, and Sanji's already capped up 5 kills. So what more now? And it's so surprising to see, again, you know, Tlph picking up the Fredrin back-to-back after what we saw even in the last games. We saw, oh, hold on.
Another Gush comes through, taking down Ogwin, just like that. Tlph can't even sniff his purple.
And Ogwin knew that he didn't need to commit his ultimate there to try and salvage that. It would have been too difficult for Falcons to take that fight. Marco, ouch.
All right, shield's gonna pop here. Down on the bottom side, again, TL now, it's 4,000 ahead for them. And it seems like Team Falcons is in that same situation that they were in Game 1, where it's like they just have to respond to TL, you know, putting the pressure wherever they decide to. How do you get around these projectiles? How do you get around those little mini crowd controls that this lineup that TL has?
Oh, it's even tough to say because you already have the Purifies. But then even if you Purify, there's already a good chance Sanji is blasting you. It's a cop-out, but play better. Out-execute them. Liquid are just really executing. Falcons, theoretically, we said it, have all the tools that they need. It's just how do you execute that when the other team is just so good at it?
Kyle is so far off. I don't think he can make it back in time. They've already picked a fight with Flap and Haji.
Oh,
Flap here is going to get taken down very, very quickly. Crimson Beacon by Haji. 40 versus 2. Kyle and Ogwin. There's no way. There's no way. Sanford flickers back.
Sanford buys enough time in the 1v2 while TL Took out Flap.
Oh my lord, another Gush Crimson Beacon. Teddy helps Sanji finish the job. And just like that, another message sent and received. This Lord belongs to Liquid.
Go next, Sanford, perfect placement. Put himself in right bush mid. Waited for Ogwin and Kyle. Liquid read their rotations. This is a Liquid that just knows everything that's going on.
Yep.
They expect what you're gonna do next, and they already put themselves in the perfect place to answer it.
Rennie, I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. And I'm pretty sure some of the chat's saying it too. You know, ban the Paquito or take the Paquito away from Sanford.
Yep.
The amount of value and efficiency that he's having on this pick is too much for TL right now. And maybe even again, you know, considering how do you get through all this? You have Purifies, you have to outplay them, but every single time they approach a fight that's started up by that stun, you lose someone.
Just like that, in a snap, Flap easy gets erased off the map.
And he's supposed to be a tanky hero here with this, but when you're just burnt through like that by the Mystic Gush.
Diamond Force, Ogwin flickers back just to save himself. Lord still standing, more than half health. Easy catches Haji. Crimson Beacon flicker back. Super Marco wailing away, taking care of the Lord. But Liquid will continue to push in, demolishing that mid lane inhibitor.
All right, base turrets still one stands for Team Falcons. They'll hold on to it. But TL.
Oh, another Gush. Kyle Easy surges back.
Another stun.
And Ogwin gets picked up once more. Teddy is on a rampage. Boom! Blazing duet from Marco plus the freeze. JP here flickers back. Easy! With an Appraiser's Wrath of all Appraiser's Wrath.
Kyle?
Taking down Marco. Kyle looking for more double kill for him. Kyle easy shot down. Kyle goes down. Knockout strike and Haji versus 2. And there's the wipeout. The KDA machine gets 3 stacks.
The machine says, not in my house. We're not going down with a fight. I thought Carl Deasy delivered the dagger with that taunt, with the Appraiser's Wrath, perfect to delete Marco in an instant. But then Falcons swing back with Kyle through Haji. Signs of life for the Falcons.
A messy fight there for Team Liquid, potentially trying to end the game off this push. Look at the replay here, how this planned out.
Winter Crown, Blazing Duet, when he gets out, the taunt is perfect. And with all the damage Carl Teasy took, it is an instant delete on the Claude. But Kyle went in perfectly. Since Teddy already committed the Zaman Force, when they went for that initial push, he didn't have it. And then Falcons just countered through their juice in, which now has 3 stacks on the Sky Piercer.
A millisecond of hesitation would have led to this ending right then and there. But Haji said, nah, not like this. From red side last night, starting game 4. No, game... Yes, game 4.
Yep,
they started to clap it back. This could be that.
Hey, Renmar, I think they just went with the, what we mentioned, they just got to play better. Well, when that team fight, they played better. But this is the problem. The Lord still controlled by Team Liquid. Does Team Falcons take that? Do they just defend and they're going to try to get a range here?
Haji looking for the choke out. Easy comes in, gets deleted. He was hoping on a dream and they're a man down. Ogwin gets mounted by Daddy JP.
Oh, the timing with a Mystic Projectile was on point to take out Kyle.
Ogwin is out. It's a 3-man defense for Falcons. Liquid can smell it. Liquid are slowly galloping towards their base.
Endable.
Yep, they got a wave pushing in. They're going to try to defend.
Gush forcing out the Crimson Beacon and Sanford takes down Haji. The base is up next. Marco with a Blazing Duet, the Hail Mary play. Minions get wiped out, but Liquid takes down Flap. And just like that, Liquid take another 2-0.
Hope looked bright, but Liquid decided to stampede the Lord. Falcons looked at the macro too much, and that moment of hesitation cost the Falcons. Liquid go up 2-0.
Ganun lang pala kabilis sa mga pangyayari.
We're not doing any translating, it's literally just us.
Okay, so kanina nagkakausap
Remember that I'm only speaking English, but
napansin niya din na yung
it's a little
first 3
tricky sometimes.
picks
Let's go
sa
and jump
game
into
number
this
2.
one.
Parang pabor siya
Again,
sa Falcons, like I
game
always
free
said. Pero
draft.
sa tingin mo ba
This
sa mga
time
ganun mo?
around, Team Liquid on dangerous grass, 92% win rate, still on that blue side, 4-2 over here. Team Falcons, I think this is a major thing.
Talaga
I'm wondering if
magaling lang
they're
sila
gonna
talaga
focus on
pumindot.
one of the bands that we talked talk about.
Mga yan kasi,
Yeah, the Paquito. If Liquid don't ban the Phoveus and they get and they get the Paquito, that means Falcons are gonna eye out picking it up. Phoveus open, but Liquid might just leave the decision to, you know what, maybe we'll just pick up the Phoveus so that you don't get to pick up the Paquito.
Yeah, one of the cases here, Marcel being banned out.
Yeah, it's some really good proactive decisions by Team Liquid Philippines, honestly, in the draft. They understand that Falcons is probably getting into a groove. First 2 games are probably just like, yeah, these didn't work out, so let's keep staying on red side. But then Liquid are gonna keep adding difficulty towards Falcons by changing it up, bring it to a little bit more of a familiar flow. They pick up the Harley. Falcons are probably gonna be, they're most likely encouraged to pick up the Leomord. Thing is, the Fanny is open, and it might show up and become a wild card pick a little bit later in the draft. It's too early.
It's too early.
Oh, there we go. It's too early to pick up the Fanny at this point.
Yeah, that's not a Falcons thing to do.
Yeah, not a Falcons thing to do.
That's an Omega thing.
Yep. Because of all the heroes that could counter it, the Hilda, the Padangs also there.
The Chos.
The Chos, all those pickoffs.
But at least this makes sense for Falcons' position in the draft, the red side. So
Yeah.
they can keep up the bit all the way till red 5.
Yeah.
They can hide that Fanny till it matters. But they won't.
They're going to go the Fred.
They steal away Carl TZ's Fredrin.
It's
So,
their turn to
You
do
got to
it.
play something else, Carl. That's what they're saying.
Still Phoveus. Yep, as expected, Liquid are just going to go ahead and rush that favorite pick for them. And they've gone up against lineups like these. So it's not going to be the Harley Leomord trade. Still, it seems like Falcons are going to be playing... And you know what? No, they don't need to play the slower game. They can still play that faster game. Just execute it a little bit better because, hey, Liquid were able to do it in the first 2 games where their Fredrin was the one dictating the tempo.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's paired up with a really good roamer that can match its aggression, maybe even its damage.
Introducing my buddy.
Okay.
The problem is they get clawed.
Claude, Phoveus, Harley right now for Team Liquid Philippines. And
This has to be
Again.
Harith.
that Phoveus, I know everyone remembers what happened, right? Just a few nights ago. 5-man Dark Wave that Sanford was able to do on the Phoveus here. Definitely something to think or consider if you're Team Falcons on not getting that set up. But also, the Harley's been kind of slept on, man. The past couple games, even yesterday's matches, Harley wasn't picked up as much. And so now you have that. This is going to be a very different tempo also for Carl TZ playing with the Harley, which will then just give space to Teddy, which is the Claude's one of his heroes that he likes to go ahead and be that steady Teddy that we've seen throughout the season. Give him time to farm up and get to where he needs to be.
They either have to get the Harith or pick it up later. Yes, much better pick this time. Team Liquid can just ban out the Harith because you still have a good option in the hero. I'm trying to remember it. It's almost there. Carry, excuse me. Carry can still be picked up here by Super Marco. Now, if both get banned out, that might actually hurt Liquid because there's a good chance Flappage is going to end up with a really good hero that can mess up Liquid's lineup.
Yeah.
I think the Falcons needs to ban the Valentina and then ban the Gord also, which would leave probably something like a Kimmy for Sanji.
Yeah, Kimmy. What else did Sanji end up playing here? If it's not, yeah, you said Valentina being banned out too would help, but a couple other options. At least for Sanji, you know, I don't know if he'd want to play the Louis or there's the Gord ban you talked about, so Gord will come through.
Flap still has a deep pool of EXP leaders that he could go for. If they want to really be aggressive and zone aggressively for the early objectives, I think a Yu Zhong is going to be warranted. So Liquid might want to eye banning that out. If they're okay with dealing with it, then if Falcons does ban the Valentina, Asura might show up. Lapu Lapu is still an option also for Flap. You need that strong burst damage to send the Claude and the Harley back. Heroes that are squishy and love to dive don't want to go up against heroes with really strong burst.
Do they just want to, they don't even worry about the Harith just going over to Super Marco. It's like, that's going to be the matchup between the Claude. So they're going ahead and focus down on the XP lane options. The Uranus being taken out. What else would help this other than the Lapu Lapu? Maybe what, the Terizla? Something to help lock down, or do you want? Is that just too slow at that point?
I feel like it's too slow, but then with you being up against the Phoveus, still might be okay. Because you don't need to... You cannot pick up the fast clearing, fast rotating heroes like the Benedetta or the Paquito anyway. I'm usually not a fan of the Terizla.
Yeah.
over time I realized he really doesn't do much. He's really just a big wall.
They really want to play the Harith. just to make sure they cover the grounds. They take out the Moskov here. No Moskov being picked up. Falcons might just pick up the Harith now and wait for that XP lane option based on the last 2 picks for Team Liquid.
Oh, that crowd is going wild. We're having a drum off between the 2 fan bases.
Yeah, I was just saying, I can't even hear myself think. Oh, no wonder. They've got buffs in front.
Oh, that's why. Oh.
Who's gonna fight the Madars? Where's Super Mars?
What is the cosplay there? Is that a cosplay? Like, is that supposed to be a certain hero, or is that just...
Is that a painted Hayabusa?
Oh. That very well could be a
That's my best guess.
Yeah.
There's the carry.
Yep. Good
Carry
pickup.
gets picked up.
A very tight box, good formation. Yu Zhang to round out the draft. The thing is the Valentina is most likely going to get through, but Liquid are also thinking about the Kimmy. Tough choices here for Liquid,
Hylos.
but they go Juicin and Hylos together. Sanji looked very happy with the trade that they got in the center.
This is, I think they're very well capable of, because of these picks, fighting into the real world manipulation if
Yeah.
they want to.
Alice actually still open. There's either the Alice or Yu Zhang for me. I just, for Falcons, they need big AoE, really good dive. Oh, even the Sora's open if they want even more damage.
With no threat of a Valentina.
Yeah, with no threat of a Valentina over there. Still, some players are not that fond of picking up the Sora against the Phobias.
That's right, I was just gonna say
Yeah.
so. I prefer the other 2. I would
Alice or
rather
Yu Zhang.
Alice or Yu Zhang. Just clear straight lines through the back.
Yeah. Unless that Hilda's already going EXP, but up against the Phobias. Very meh.
Could be the swerve.
Lapu Lapu. Still, it's one of the heroes that we posted earlier. You need that strong, big sense of burst against heroes that are squishy and love to entry. The Harley, the Claude, because that forces you to either BMI out, cancel your big ultimates, not make the most out of your ultimates.
Yeah, I think this is what they needed. Team Falcons, man, it is erupting in here in the Champions Arena right now. Team Falcons got to get a win under their belt. Otherwise, I feel like if TL gets the game here and they're at championship point, it's going to look very grim. We're going to be jumping into the game. Game 3 upon us as Team Falcons have what they need to get a win under their belt. This is a different approach from what we've seen before. But again, as it is so important for the macro, we need to see the micro, the early game in control for Team Falcons as we jump into the land of dawn.
Welcome to Mobile
This is the
Legends.
time for Falcons to take a game. Seems like the draft has evolved and it has gotten to the point where now even Liquid acknowledged that they could have just go ahead and pick up the Paquito again because Falcons would have been ready for that. So they had to be proactive in changing things up. But you saw Liquid a little bit slower with their decisions in the draft here. A lot more thinking. This is the best shot for the Falcons to turn it around.
Yeah, Falcons can make this happen again with this kind of pressure that they have with Ogrun on the hill, like we've seen before. You know, you should be able to go ahead and get a good early game starting. Not only that, but allowing Super Marco to, wow, they're already duking it out. This is what we've seen actually between the gold laners in the current meta, just doing their own thing, fighting each other, potentially going for the 1v1 plays like we've seen early on. That's not going to happen here. Flap, like you mentioned with the Lapu Lapu, going to be pretty big here. It does get the XP.
Yeah.
Wow, the crowd appreciates the micro superiority that Flap showed in that sequence.
Yeah, cross the blades.
On the backswing is when he got it.
Yeah. There is that second proc of damage going back. Little underrated thing about the Lapu Lapu. I also like the little micro capability showing from Sanji. The fact that he got the lift on the Hilda but decided not to bring it closer to them because it would have messed up the Juicin and the High Loss together.
Yep.
Just kept it up there, you know?
This is why we were saying, you know, micro just as important as the macro, and I feel like, you know, in just a year or two ago or seasons ago when it was so much macro, and that's why utility was the case. Now you have so many intricacies to the current meta.
And as we approach the first turtle, an important part of the whole micro discussion is it's not just what you're capable of doing, it's when you do it. And Liquid have always been doing it in the right timing. So much better than Falcons in this series alone. Turtle started up.
Turtles here, half health already. Team Falcons has clear control of this one.
And in comes Flap, diving in. RWM by Haji, swipe it away. Immaculate timing. Down goes JP. 40 foes as well. And Sanji just barely gets away the flicker from Haji. The machine, but off camera. How the hell did Carl Teasy steal the turtle? Haji finds the hamster mage, but still. What was that steal?
Falcons did everything right, but Kyle just couldn't win the retry against Carl. Carl, what the hell are you made of? Goat milk, it looks like.
Okay, man, he's made of using this, the real coolin' beast moves. Our Infinix hand cam for the GT50 Pro. Helps him secure it, but also part of this, again, this is the elusiveness of a Harley. You're able to go ahead and even if your team fight is not there, you have a chance to go ahead and space on time through, get that retry off, make it happen.
He's so sly, he's so cunning.
Yeah.
He didn't even die.
He didn't die.
Since the cooldowns were kind of off, it seems like Kyle uses Retribution way after the fact. So I was thinking that maybe Falcons just said, don't try to retry the turtle, maybe try to last hit it through your skills, but then use your retry to slow down Carl and try to take him down instead.
Which is, in hindsight, a micro mistake.
Yeah.
Like they just should have kept it for the big one.
Yeah, I think they were a little bit too greedy in making sure that they could get a kill on that Harley to stop the tempo. Is it devastating to the point where they've lost the early game? No, they're still in control and they will still have the same result and advantage for the next turtle since the spawn's on the bottom side.
Yeah.
Whoop. In comes Kyle, compromising. JP, there's a taunt. RWM coming up. JP goes down. Lazy whip by Teddy. But Marco does not back down, and Marco might get taken down here. Oh, the flicker back. Marco barely lives.
Good use of the flicker there to stay alive. Great rotation from Team Falcons to make a move up top.
Yeah, the important thing there was JP eating up all the damage. Because Falcons used their combo to take the high loss down, I believe the taunt coming in from the Fredrin was just not available. They didn't even have enough abilities to chip away at Teddy, and he gets away scot-free. Turtle number 2.
Yeah, just again with this like Haji on the eve, so on point so far. Second turtle gonna be up.
Oh, Flap round 2. Dives in with the Brave Spider. Looking for one. Already used a Crimson Beacon on Sanji. And finally the retribution is good for Falcons.
We'll secure the objective, looking for a fight here.
There's the Glorious Pathway. JP disincentivizing forward momentum from Falcons. Up top though, there's a duel. Carl Teasy dropping that deadly magics on Marco. Marco holding his ground.
Oh, the river is up. Carl Teasy will have a space escape, but he'll just there. Oh, I thought that Haji would be going with him. Falcons have slowed things down to a pace that TLPH are probably a little bit uncomfy with. It's this Hilda pickup on Ogwen.
Yeah.
Massive effect on the rotations for JP and Sanji.
Yeah, good picks here happening for Team Falcons. Good space control around the map too. This is one of the things that they can go ahead and work with right now for Carl Teasy specifically. Oh, up top, Teddy. Teddy wanted to be the focus. He gets out with the BMI. So he's safe for now. Now Team Falcons, this is the first time in this series that they've had this kind of lead. Let's see if they can maintain it across the board. Let's look at the items falling into place.
Yeah, Radiant there for a Fredrin and a Hilda. So the damage and pokes coming out of Cartesi's Harley that just got the Genius one. 5 minutes and 40 seconds later, Super Marco will be able to get the tower up top. What a turnaround for Falcons after all of the ish that they had to go through this series.
Yeah.
To see them now with a perfect lead so far, let's just respect the fact that the first turtle went to Carl.
Yep.
But they got the gold, and it's looking good for the Falcons.
This is exactly what they needed throughout the series. They got to maintain this though. They've got to maintain the lead. We've seen TL before, play this way, and that's why the second turtle, there was no contest. Carl Teasy decided to be on the opposite end of the map. We might even see them potentially give up the third and just prepare for the first Lord, as Super Marco will knock down another turret down bot.
Side to side. And Flap needs to hold strong here, but it's only one siege minion. They are going to go for the cut. They're not going to get that. Turtle 3 will be very determinant for the result of the series. The entry there by Flap. Kyle with the toss. He's immune. He jumped forward. JP able to get away with the Glorious Pathway with the real world manipulation. Takes down the high loss. Kyle and Flap now trying to go after Sanford while he's trying to hold on. He jumps up in the air. Dark Wave. He's buying time. He's dealing damage, but it's just too much.
And this is the case that we're talking about with the lineup that Team Falcons have. they're able to go ahead and set up around the box of Haji, the real world manipulation, and just come out swinging. And there's no way for Team Liquid to fight against it currently. They're too far behind up to this point. The last turtle goes in the hands of Team Falcons.
Kyle, Haji, and Ogwin have controlled the center perfectly, Naisu and Leo. How they've been able to just stop the aggressive maneuvers. JP and Sanji were happy with this juice into the high loss pick, but they were probably thinking about it also from a sense of a counter perspective. How do we counter this Hilda, the aggressive rotations? There's just so much peel right now for Haji's Eve and for Super Marco's carry. It's a strong front by Falcons.
Which is allowing them to make smarter decisions in the times that it matters. Because in the first couple of games, by this point, they were already down 5K. Now it's the other way around. So I think Falcons just need a little bit of space, a little bit of time to out-mechanic and out-maneuver Liquid. And now look, they're threatening the purple. In comes Kyle. Ogwin up to the front, and the retribution is good. Kyle takes it.
Yeah, taking resources away, continue to put pressure like TL has done against Team Falcons in the previous 2 games.
Yeah.
This is exactly how they have to play it. Team Falcons, with this kind of advantage, you should be able to go ahead and secure that first Lord. You should be able to go ahead and start marching towards the base of Team Liquid here. Now for TL, they try to make things happen in the mid.
Oh, JP already used the bonus pathway. RWM, they trap Stanford, looking for more damage. Today comes in, but Marco's been pushing up top. And Sanji with the Crimson Beacon takes down Flap. That's 1 down, 4 Falcons, and now Liquid 1 more. Kyle dashing back, Carldeezy wants him, and Stanford finds him. Make that a 2 for 1, a 2 for 2, and today takes down Marco. Haji will not survive this. 3 for 4, a bloodbath as Haji takes down Tere.
How does Team Falcons lose 4 in that fight?
Well, it was 5v4. They didn't have their gold laner as Super Marco was playing the Super Macro instead. Still, Falcons was able to walk away with it with some kills. It was crucial that Haji was able to take down Teddy, because if that Claude stood standing, then they would have been able to break the tower in mid. Still, I like that we're seeing fight from Team Liquid Philippines. It was awkward, but they realized the carry isn't here. Without them, they're lacking damage, and they decided to be aggro. Carl and Teddy, perfect. Look, onto Kyle. Sanford, also, great entry with the flicker forward.
Yeah, and Super Marco just not being there for that fight, gave that little bit of advantage in the timing for TL to win that. So Lord is up. Team Falcons, despite losing some 3,000 gold, they'll fight for it.
Majority of them have no flickers.
Yeah.
So this is very weird for Falcons to take. They are flipping the coin right now. Lord at a 5th of its health gets reset.
Carldeezy is 1 level ahead of Kyle. His threshold just a little bit better.
Nope. And there's the IWM answered by a glorious pathway. Sanji, Crimson Beacon back, and Flap is just doing his darndest. As Super Marco wails away at 40, he gets them massive. Appraiser's Rat sends Carldeezy and Teddy back.
That keeps them in check. Lord is going to reset. Team Falcons did lose Flap in the exchange, but it's both XP laners that go down. So now we go for the reset. It's going to be a 4v4 for this Lord. It's sitting at half health here with Kyle in control.
Down to an 8th, and that is Marco down very low. JP gets taken down. Ogwin controlling the perimeter, and Kyle secures Retribution in check.
Super Marco dashed forward just to add that little bit of extra security that Liquid wouldn't be able to get close. And since they saw the carry was standing right in front of them, Carldeezy and Teddy, I believe it was also Sanji as well, just decided, yeah, let's just go ahead and give that.
Yeah, they're better off just defending on this one. Again, they're not massively behind or anything like that, so Team Falcons still gonna respect this base push with this Lord. They will take down the tier 1 in the mid lane, working on the tier 2 next. They've got everything they need. Super Marco is locked and loaded, and that is also Haji locking in his Trinity.
So, total control time actually in this game is still almost double for Team Liquid Philippines, around 44 to closer to 29 for Falcons, 28.5 seconds. But you see here the effect, the lead in damage. Liquid has dealt almost 60,000 damage more.
Ogwin just took a face full of everything. Deadly magics and all. Keeping Carldeezy at bay. And that'll stop Liquid from defending with their full force up top. RWM by Haji. Compromising Sanji from the flank here. Sanji just looking to clear the waves and knock up. Haji's not going anywhere. As long as the RWM is up, and they do defend successfully.
Carl's still there too. He knows he can win this fight against a Hilda.
Yeah.
He's got his ult back up, but he just wanted to go ahead and push into that turret.
Falcons also full committed on the tower up top, not being able to get a push in despite them having the minion wave for the turret in the mid lane. So maybe that's a little bit of an off decision there for Falcons. While Liquid, they played the map really well there. Tlph knew that he could continue marking and keeping Ogwen from even joining them. So again, the proactivity of Liquid has been a theme for this series, and it shows even with them behind for the first time in this best of 7.
Yeah, this is, like I said, for Team Falcons to go ahead and cap out this win here. They're going to go ahead and focus down this tier 2 bottom side. They'll be able to get this converted. Tlph has just been pushing on the opposite end of the map, and that's exactly what you're going to expect with the mobility that the Harley provides for this.
So Falcons have taken care of the lower quarter of the map unfettered with impunity, and they'll continue to take control. This Lord coming up next. The long lane is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Plant this purple here.
I think
Down.
Carl secured. Yep, Carl's good.
Carl's got it.
Kyle even committed the retry there to try and steal it away. Then it would be important to deal with this Harley. So Falcons have to be careful. Good chance of a Team Liquid Philippines turnaround with how they've been fighting through Teddy, through Sanji. The surprise turnaround and re-entry. Call it the re-engage, coming in from the Phoveus of Sanford.
I love what they're doing though. Just Super Marco's buffed out of his mind. He's got all the items he needs. You know, he's working on that very last one, but he's double buffed up. This is perfect territory for Super Marco to make moves around this Lord take.
He's gonna start hitting home runs like Barry Bonds. I think I just showed my age there, but I don't care.
Dude, hockey's amazing.
Yeah, I love football.
Whoa!
All right.
Falcons with the Dons. Flap takes a good amount of hits from Teddy.
Keep an eye on Super Marco. He's so pivotal for this.
Ogwen flushes out the LBM, and there is JP and Sanji in there pushing them out. The Lord still standing, gets reset.
If Marco falls, the rest of Falcons fall with him. Unless it's some insane heroics through Kyle, Haji, working together, maximizing taunts, Appraiser's Wrath, and of course the pokes for Eve. Void Blasts are going to start deleting members of Liquid as well. It's already a trinity of core items for Haji up to Spine Glaive.
Sanji's aware of what's in the LBM. Falcons move out their pieces. Haji and Ogwen out. Lord here at a third of its health. JP and Sanji know how dire this is. Ogwen and Flap holding their ground. In comes the Glorious Pathway. RWF coming through. Caught easy with the steal.
Sanji.
And here comes the Stampede as Sanji runs through him. Marco takes out JP. Kyle goes in as well. Sanford goes down. And now Teddy's going to be up next as he BMIs through. 2 kills for the Lord.
They don't get the Lord, but that was a terrific response by Falcons in what could have been a big Liquid win. As Sanji Crimson Beacon forward and used the sprint to be way more difficult to take down. Marco!
Carl Daisy gets taken down by the Bulletproof.
Oh man, Super Marco, we said he's going to be pivotal for this win for Team Falcons. Well, that is a huge kill for momentum for Team Falcons to deal with this Lord.
Leo, Marco read that, man. Marco knew that's where Carl wanted to go.
He was using the orange as bait. He knows what the GOAT wants.
Oh, that just deals with that Lord easy peasy for Team Falcons.
We may have just witnessed the awakening of bloodthirsty Marco. It's like we're back in Saudi. It's like we're back in Rizal. Falcons are alive. The Glorious Pathway answered by the RWM. Once again, the knock-up on the Kyle. No push is going to happen yet while, excuse me, Ogwen's taking care of top lane. There was a slow push by Liquid.
Yeah, it was a massive minion wave that needed to be answered because Falcons cannot give up that tower up top because Liquid have been holding and defending their base turrets with every inch of their life. And with those base turrets is hope for Liquid because they've been handling macro really well. Again, Falcons play around the box. And with a Harley, good chance that you can open up the map through split pushes, similar to Teddy, which is why the Claude is now getting protected by the San duo as he opens up the map. JP even shadowing multiple units ahead of the others just to mark rotations of Falcons now who seek to invade the purple of Liquid.
Going for the purple here, it's going to come down to it. Retribution's used. Tlph will be able to get his purple.
No.
So it's Team Falcons playing around the objective, playing around the fact that they've got this ability to go ahead and clump up together, put pressure where they want to. It's also part of a bit of a cat and mouse game, honestly. Like depending on where Tlph is going on the Harley, you might be able to go ahead and catch him, you might not, but it's also control. Like, can we control not getting pushed in on cross-map play with this Lord coming up here? At least it's on that top side for Team Falcons where they can center around it. They also don't have to worry about that side lane push.
You know, here's the difference maker. Teddy now has the Winter Crown, which should be deadlier for Haji and Super Marco. But let's see. Haji, he also has his Winter Crown. So it should cancel each other out and they should be okay. Haji's position, has been terrific, by the way. And the man marking for Falcons to actually protect whoever tries to go after Marco and Haji has been sublime.
Yeah, that protection, the peel that they can provide for Haji, for Marco, has been another major thing. Ooh. This Lord is going to be a big one. As Team Falcons starts it up, Tlph has their eyes set on it. They rotate up here. They'll go ahead and show face, but this is most likely just going to be delayed out for now. Wind of Nature being picked up, swamped in. Super Marco's got that. He's going to go in for this potential.
Excuse me, the Lord is very low. 16th of Patel coming in. Kyle with a retribution. Immortality bomb to JP. Glory finally already used up. And Winter Crown combo coming through for Tele. RWM by Haji. He knows that the core on the other side is already used up. And double kill for Bulletproof. Down goes 40. Oh. And Super Marco gets the Immortality bomb. Open. Find Tele. 3 for 1 plus the Lord. Falcons are soaring in. Called easy finds Marco.
It's not endable just yet, but maybe the minion waves are big enough. Maybe Haji and Flap have enough damage in them to try and end it here.
No turrets left in mid. Lord could crash into the base. Sanji with the bait, with the kite to the side. Caldini, Sanji defending. They're getting away with it. Minions have already spawned.
They got the minions out. Sanji's gonna go down though.
Oakland with the execution. Lord gets taken care of. The base turret down bottom is down. Falcons are slowing it down.
Carl TZ with the pickoff onto Marco. His immortality was popped, but Carl committed to the play to take down the carry, which is why, despite Falcons getting the Lord, they still can't end, and Carl still got his own purple buff.
Oh man, we got to take a look at the replay here. This fight broke out. It was all centered around this Lord. JP goes down really quickly, but centered together, Team Falcons are susceptible to the Blazing Duet, the beacon from Sanji, Sanford setting things through. This could have gone way worse. A whole lot of immortalities were popped here in this fight. And yes, as you mentioned, the fact that Super Marco was there but then gets taken out by Carl TZ was the reason why TL is still in this game.
Yeah. Ogwen, also massive pick onto Teddy. Deathless is the Hilda. It's the roamer that hasn't gone down yet for Falcons. 2-0 and 12.
That's ridiculous. He's not even carrying a... is he? No, there's no casual Fury Hammer.
Nope.
It's a full tank Hilda.
Full tank. He knows he has it in his kit already to be a big nuisance to Teddy. With Teddy committing a Winter Crown, I think Ogwen's just man-marking the Claude over and over again, while Flap, Kyle, and Ogwen are like... Flap and Kyle are the main tanks for Haji and Marco, the main source of peel for the two backliners. Haji's timings of the real-world manipulation have been great. The people probably thinking he could have used that sooner, but no, he was also looking for the Blazing Duet. He used it when he saw the threat of that was gone, because now there's a good chance Liquid are playing into a RWM that favors Falcons.
Deadly Magic thrown out on Haji. So Team Falcons bringing this Lord here. It is an evolved one. They'll go ahead and bit of a reset. Sanford waiting patiently up in the brush. They're still going to go back and forth for this. Keep an eye on Ogwen. He's been a nuisance to Team Liquid. Makes his way for it. Quarter health on this Lord here.
Now an 8, a 10th RWM. Flap with the preemptive use of it, and Kyle secures JP. Very low Blazing Duet coming through. Same spot. Consistency. Marco from Tele. Marco in the middle of 3. Goes down, and Winter Crown out of Sanford. Marco still lives. Dark Wave, and in comes the rest of them. Open is picking dudes off left and right. Now Marco still lives. Marco versus Tele. And Marco and Teddy trade 3 for 2. Crowd easy getting hunted down. The Master wants him. The Master needs him. Forcing him into the base. And there's still a wave down bottom. In comes Ogwen and the Lord.
The Lord is walking with Team Falcons. They'll work on the base, and they found flight.
It's just Carl left. He gets popped, and Falcons on the board. Get
shakes as there's turbulence in the air. But the Falcons' flight is steady.
To appear in game number 4.
Do you expect utility junglers to show up again, like the Fredrin in game number 4? Or would you expect to see utility junglers again? Or is there a chance that you feel there might be assassins sometime?
Yeah, but I hate utility jungle so much. So, but I think it's still gonna come out, especially Fredrin.
It's great to hear from our fans in the crowd. That DJY guy looks pretty familiar. You know him? I feel like I've seen him a lot.
He looked a little different from when I last saw him.
Oh, yeah?
That's the uncanny bit.
Oh.
He looks stronger now.
Ah.
He looks like 100 stars strong now.
Oh, of course. Always great to see DJY around here. Welcome back. We're now in the draft for game number 4. Ooh.
You tend to lose track in
Yeah.
epic like this.
Yeah, it was a 20-plus minute game in the last one, too. I feel like we went through 2 games when it was just one really long one. All right, Falcons. They open up the Phobius now with the draft, which means Paquito is probably out of the picture. Eve getting taken away by the Falcons instead of giving it to Sanji. Jushin and Claude are open.
Detective Frederick on the
Whoa.
case 24/7.
Oh.
I was just about to ask, before this Fredrin first pick comes up, given their success in Game 3 with the slowing down of the gameplay and just having a little bit more macro-centric tempo, are we gonna go? Are we returning to that world?
It seems like it, but again, it's perplexing to me because the Freya was also open and they didn't pick it up. The Jushin, they prioritized the Fredrin out of all heroes. Falcons need to cook up a crazy draft here or they're gonna get flamed, man.
Yeah, because still, say what you will and consider everything that's happened in series so far.
Yep.
Absolute truths. You gotta mention, Freya is still nuts.
Yeah.
Freya is still pretty brizzity broken.
Yeah. And
Brizzity broken.
really broken. And without the Eve here too, you're sort of out of answers for the Freya to try and manage it. You have to go for something like Burst or just get Haji on a Kimi now. But the Valentina is still going to be open, but you don't see enough picks to pick it up.
Yeah.
Are they going to save their mid lane pick for later? It's going to be a big question. They get the carry.
They get the carry, they get the Phobius. Is this enough to deal with the Brizzity broken Freya?
Oh, wait, no, yeah. That's what I forgot. Something that completely goes over my head from time to time is the Phobius is one of the best lane counterparts you can back against the Freya. She doesn't really dominate.
Whoa.
Most Phobius can manage it really well. Liquid, surprise Yi Sun-shin.
They're going deep.
Yeah.
Not a Leomord, not a Harley.
When have we seen this? When was the last time we saw a jungle YSS?
But here's the thing. We don't know.
If this is...
A jungle or a gold decent shin. Because even the Freya, you're not sure where that's going.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
The Mountain Shocker. I think it would benefit Liquid if they want to stay to their idea of speed, playing really quickly.
Yeah.
You put YSS in the jungle. You still consider putting that carry, or excuse me, that Freya in the gold lane for Teddy, because the Freya against the Phobius, you sort of nerf what Sanford wants to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Tlph banned the Valentina. They could be trying to bait a Sora ban out of Falcons right now.
Because again, we don't know where things are landing yet.
Yeah. There's also a chance that Liquid might shock with a Leomord pick, so then you put that YSS in the gold, you put that EXP Freya,
Yeah.
but then it's the Freya that's going to be the sort of pick that you need to help out a little bit more. So the Jushin in the mid, that pretty much secures your jungle. You can pack any roamer with that, like no matter who the hell it is.
With
Gator,
the Jushin, yeah.
Lahailo, you're going to be fine.
That's why I think almost you have the Gatakacha available, since the Hylos is going to be one that they take out. Team Falcons will ban that out. Because I think even a Revitalize would really help them if it's going to be a Revitalize roamer for JP. Unless they end up bringing out just something else other than the Hylos, other than the Gatakacha. I'm expecting him to just pick up the Gatakacha here. I don't know, could a Cho work in this lineup though too?
Against Falcons?
Yeah.
No.
Not
Even
at all,
worse.
no?
Yeah.
With the Phobius around and even just generally how Falcons have been playing, I think the Cho might actually hurt them. But let's see, Liquid, who the heck is that?
That looks like Aaron.
Is that, oh, is that Burrito?
That's Aaron Paul Gaddy. That's Burrito.
Oh, that's Burrito?
Oh my god, that's
APG.
Burrito.
Oh no, they've started it.
And he can't even fight back. He's literally right here.
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now. He has no idea. All right, last ban here. Are they still going to hone in on the roams for JP? Again, he could just end up with the Gatacontra.
Yeah. If they take it away, then there's no more healing trifecta. If they don't take away, Liquid most likely ends up with just the only revitalized roamer. Because even Box is gone.
What about just Khalid?
Khalid, then yeah, they go damage.
But they're all dive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Gatot ban. Oh no, Terizla. I thought I read the lips of Coach Moody as saying Gatot Pacha. Turns out it was Terizla. Ah, okay. Seeing the gaps of the hero in the mid and the fact that a Terizla going into the EXP lane would have meant that they have a really good option. Liquid are still kind of soft stuck into the fact that this Freya might end up in the EXP with it being uncomfortable. Still, Sora's open if they want to, but then again, with the Fulvis around.
Yep.
Whoa, did Falcons just solve Liquid after 2 games? I mean, they still have a lot of good options.
So far, it seems like they saw them in the draft. Gameplay-wise, it's still a 50-50.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that was a big part of the problem for them, those first 2 games, was solving the draft first. There it is. TL will go ahead and grab Sanford's Yu Zhong. So now you have an idea, right? Where things are falling into place.
Yep,
obviously, that paints the picture for us.
Ain't no more tricks.
Yeah.
Red 4, suddenly they're honest.
Yeah. Still, that bodes really badly for Falcons. They have a very aggressive lineup that they're up against. All this dive, just consider picking up the Zetian now. All that crowd control should be able to temper them, but that you need a strong roam mid so that the Zetian doesn't fall behind quickly. With all of the dives, with no Valentina on the board, consider an Atlas for Ogwin. Atlas Valentina. Not the easiest combo to pull off, but you could make it work.
Oh, Lilia.
Oh, Lilia, okay.
This is not what I was expecting.
They needed to speed up a bit. They needed a little bit more reliable damage output to make sense of what they're doing on the map.
Does the matchup with this, I mean, at least against the Jushin, play a similar part, or it can keep up? The glue is going to be the answer, by the way, with Tlph in the last pick.
Yeah, should be able to keep up the most iconic Lilia game that we've seen where Jushin was given a difficult time. If I'm not mistaken, might have been Super Prince on that Lilia.
Yep, he was the pioneer in Season 17.
Yeah, and he placed those glooms aggressively on the ground to make sure that the Jushin wouldn't be able to control the mid as comfortably.
Okay, solid look up here for both compositions.
Bunch of Purifies.
Bunch of Purifies. This is going to be a slaughter fest here, I think, for both to get through to this point. There was a sticking point for Team Falcons at one point. They've managed to get through it by a little bit. Now can they equalize the series? The Champions Arena looks like there's life now on Team Falcons' side here. Hopefully they can get another game under their belt and bring us closer to that full series.
All right, here we go. It's really going to be very determinant on how the Atlas and the Glue play against each other. Super Marco, again, going to be a very demanding game for him, honestly. Love the picks that you have. You forgo crowd control for damage, meaning that makes it harder for your mid laner, or excuse me, your gold laner to operate during team fights. Up against a lineup that has a lot of dive. So Haji and Ogwin need to slow down JP and Sanji as much as they can, similar to what they did in the previous game.
Whoop, already a little bit of a skirmish in mid. Haji put down a third of his health. But this will send Sanji home. Yeah. Unless, oh no, he's just Brave Smiting his way to staying.
Yeah, one of the advantages there, having the Brave Smite, especially with the Jushin. You know, you're constantly keeping the Lantern over someone anyway, whether that's the minions, whether that's the heroes here. JP making his way through. They have control, but this is one of the things too. Lilia, like we saw earlier in the season with Super Prince, you know, you're able to go at least kind of duel it out a little bit better from more of a safety vantage point. With Lilia, once you get the black shoes, there's something there that can be said that you can try to bait some of the resources out for TL.
Oh, look at that perfect match burst out of JP and Sanji. It's a deadlock. It's been a while since we've seen almost no one budging in the mid-roam duo.
Again, without an EXP laner similar to a Paquito, things do tend to slow down here. Ooh, good use of Purify.
Uh-oh. Haji but down to a 5th again. Tlph almost came in clutch for that engage.
Yeah, both Purifies use Super Marco, not making it easy for Teddy. Here comes Ogwen.
Oh, that's deep. Defensive use of the Valkyrie's descent, and Ogwen will get away with it, wasting Teddy's ult.
Yeah, but that might have been enough time to go ahead and solidify TL's first turtle take.
Yep.
That was a bit of a distraction that Falcons had to deal with, so clean take on the turtle.
We didn't get to check in on Kyle so much. How did he get so delayed?
Tlph invade took away his Beetle. I can't recall if he took away his Golem. But Kyle, yeah, just was green camp short of being able to hit level 4.
Okay, so right now it's just a battle of attrition, these small little moves that TL is making now across the map. This is interesting though too, just because we haven't seen the YSS in the jungle too much, you know, and in this case the matchup between the YSS and the Fredrin. You know, you have back-to-back games for Tlph on the Fredrin from game 1 to game 2. Now you've got back-to-back for Kyle from 3 to 4.
Ooh.
Oh, they both hurt.
Lantern Flare on Haji. Refuses to press the black shoes. Instead uses regeneration. Liquid are so used to playing the slow style too.
Yeah. It's slow, but it's still fast because of how fast the YSS farms.
Mountain Shocker takes down Ogwen. Sanji draws first blood.
That's one of the difficult things, right? When there's a blue across from you, there's always that potential to kind of cause some chaos in those team fights, and then before you know it, you're being brought back, and then you can't escape.
Ogwen looked disappointed in himself that he gave away such a meaningless kill.
Not to mention using the flicker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Committed the flicker as well.
Especially now that he has a level 4, he's got the Fatal Link, so there's no surprise factor for more so about a minute and a half or so for this, but they try to make a play. They do get the beacon out from Sanji. So that's one of the strengths of the Fredrin. You know, you can kind of swoop in, try to get that energy eruption off. That doesn't happen. But yes, not much happening in the early game. But despite it all, TL builds a bit of a lead.
With not much happening, I'm expecting at least Kyle to have good pathing. It seems like more than once now he's gone back and forth.
Yeah, it's just too fast with how Tlph is farming that Kyle doesn't have any room. The slight bits of counter juggling, taking away a green camp here and there. Yeah, so much more easier and so much faster for a YSS to farm. Now with a Hunter Strike rush by Tlph, this could actually be a big win for Team Liquid Philippines if Tlph can hit a big stun.
Turtle number 2, started out by Liquid, slight pull, and it looks like Falcons are considering should they engage. Ogwen does not have a flicker just yet. Holding on to the Fatal Links. Sanford comes through from the top. And in comes the Black Dragon form, looking for targets. Turtle very low, into the back line. Tlph secures it, and they dogpile on the flap, forcing him to flicker back. Didn't even get the Dark Wave, and now Ogwen's gonna be up next. Lantern Flare right into the ground. 2 for none, plus the Turtle. It's all Liquid.
Surprising to me that Flap still went into the back line of Tlph, went into their formation. Whether it was their bait play, Ogwen did end up getting some Fatal Links in, but they don't have the damage just yet for the rest of the members of Team Liquid Philippines. Yes, Haji is hurting Sanji, but with the glue, with the Yuzhong, it's not enough.
Attempt down here. Push him off the tier 1 up top. Kyle's going to swoop in. They want to fight this one out. Looks like they're on Sanji. Is he going to be able to get away here? He doesn't have the Purify.
He already used it up, and now Ogwen looking for it. Not necessary. Just the freeze, we're going to finish the job, and they put a kill on a Marco.
Yeah, now they cut because JP and Teddy are forced to try and take that Flap against Carl.
Uh-oh. 1v1 TZ Brothers. And Flap gets on out of there.
They're just saying hi, you know? Former teammates at one point. No kills secured there.
Will be teammates again.
Yeah, that's true. Flap, though, on this Phobius.
That's the name of their team.
TZ Brothers.
Oh, it is TZ Brother. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The qualifiers for
ENC.
ENC, right.
We're saying.
I was just saying, you know, Flap, big part of this on this Phobius. He's got to be that front line for this team. Obviously, a lot inside Ogwen, but I think, as we usually see with the Atlases so far, you know, not only that Fatal Links kind of being the big setup, but you've got to burn these Purifies out from Sanji and Teddy if you can.
Whoa! Talking about Teddy, Valkyrie's descent right into Marco's face. Marco running through it. Sanji comes in from the flank, takes him down. 2v1, successful gank.
I guess that's what we were talking about when we mentioned earlier. Tlph said he wanted to see a little more spunk from Teddy. Well, there it is. He's quite aggressive on the Freya.
Yeah. Also knew that with Sanji rotating topside, there would be a sure kill for them. Great call by Liquid.
And now they go straight for the turtle. Hat trick for the Cavalry. Very little from Falcons.
This is such a weird pacing that we're seeing right now in this game. For right now, Kyle in trouble.
JP with the mount. In comes the Black Dragon form. Kyle gets squished. Marco from the left. This is very bad underneath tier 1. JP gets taken down. Haji scores. Valkyrie's descent coming through. That triggers Flaps. Infernal Pursuit. And he goes for another one. Flap flickers back. Just too much damage from Liquid's front line.
Yeah, good thing he didn't commit that. He would not have survived, and it would have been another meaningless kill. JP, though, of course, went down as he was absorbing the hits from the turret. Team Liquid Philippines. I think Carl Tlph specifically just out-rotated Kyle of the jungle. Hurt Falcons in the long run.
Oh, they're on 40. Ogwin and Marco.
Oh, Dragon.
And Marco gets it.
That's what they need. Marco might be one of the cases again, just like we saw in the previous game, where they're going to rely on this carry to scale up the way they are.
Oh, Sanji sniffed him out, stopping Marco and Ogwin's Rico. And that's it. Lantern Flare, 6 feet under.
That was just a great read by Liquid. Crimson Beacon, closing it out. They knew that they were there. That's why I was wondering if Super Marco and Ogwin didn't realize that they could just walk back. They should have.
Probably the safer route.
Yeah, I don't think they can. They're not exactly reading JP's and Sanji's rotations right now.
Yeah, this puts Tlph now up almost 3,000 gold, approaching that point. Very low kill game, but it's more so a game across the map is what we're seeing here. This will all lead into that first Lord take once it's up. You're thinking Team Falcons in a position to actually go ahead and contest it. You know, you got 2 big items for Super Marco, but if he's caught out without the Purify, as we've seen, there's just a little bit too much crowd control to deal with here from Team Liquid, especially, once again, dealing with a Jushin in the hands of Sanji.
Really feels like that YSS was a checkmate response to the Fredrin jungle, just with rotational speed alone. And of course, with Carl Tlph being proactive. Okay, Fatal Links used, but Sanji uses Purify for that.
1 for 1. Can Falcons even use it to reposition? They pull out a Crimson Beacon out of Sanji.
That's actually pretty good for Team Falcons, though. Right now, TL still has control, though. There was a push by Super Marco in it. I guess that's enough information for TL just to blitz down the Lord, and they take the tier 2 on the top side. So despite that, they look to put more pressure on the purple side of the jungle of Team Falcons. No commit, though.
Yeah. No Fatal Links from Ogwin, so he couldn't try and make something happen. Just a bit of freeze and a bit of peel to send Liquid back. Ice Queen 1 for Sanji. So for the map looks good for Liquid. Teddy's been very active. And this has just provided so much space for Carl.
Teddy's applied the right amount of pressure. It's not like he's actively looking for fights.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just pops the form.
Yeah, he's just doing what needs to be done where he goes. And that's what made the map so small for Falcons now. Oh. Mountain Shocker. Liquid are saying we want this tier 1. In comes the Black Dragon form. And then they dive in. Valkyrie's descent. Sanji gets taken down. And now there's another one in JP. Falcons are running it. Sanford very low. Glooms underneath that half dragon. Super Marco wailing away. Finds him. Double kill for Bulletproof. And that's a 3 for none. The punish on the tier 1 push.
Talk about greedy. But still, the tower up top is going to get pushed in by the Lord. Carl Tlph is getting chased by Kyle.
Okay, they send Flap to take care of the marching pusher. And in mid, they continue. Kyle versus Carl, the man-to-man. In comes Teddy with a Valkyrie descent, Mount Shucker. Teddy, defensive use of it. And Carl gets taken down between 3 members of Falcons. Might have been too much even for the GOAT.
The plan was there, but it was stopped in its tracks by Ogwin and the rest of Team Falcons.
Super Marco popped his Purify so that when he would get hit by the turtle boat, and it did, he would not get stunned. He'd take the damage, but at least he still got the free hit. And of course, a momentary taunt as well coming out from Kyle was perfect.
And again,
energy eruption, right?
Yeah, energy eruption.
I just remembered it now.
He erupted the energy, man. That was just good defense for Super Marco. That's why we were saying earlier, for this game as well, they want to go ahead and lean towards Super Marco on this carry to actually carry through the game, get to that point. So now it's them trying to put pressure on the purple buff off Carl Tlph, but he is going to go ahead and secure it. They will disengage from that. Look at the positioning from Sanford here. It's TL playing in a different way in this one. They sort of have to. That's what we're seeing them throughout this game. They can't just brunt force push their way forward against Team Falcons.
They can do it against the 6 other franchises in the league, but not against Falcons, not against their fated rival in the Clash of Titans. Even they have to evolve.
Still a massive lead that Falcons needs to chip through for the jungler. And I'm not talking about items, I'm talking about EXP. You cannot go full commit into Lord fights with Kyle 2 levels down to Tlph. That's why I think Falcons are now going to have to take the next few moments, seeing if, even though they look better on the defense, if they can get an odd pick or two, recover, recalibrate, and then try to build an advantage through there, because retro battles are just going to favor Tlph.
Oh, are they going to go for Teddy? They're collapsing over on Teddy on the bottom side. Both Ogwin and Super Marco are there. Lord is up. Teddy wants to keep putting pressure on this side of the map, so JP goes to potentially support him, but they'll keep Teddy there.
And Tlph will leave this chubby wave up top for Falcons to deal with, as they seem to pivot straight for the Lord push.
Yeah, both side lanes being pushed. This is a clear sign for Liquid to just go.
And they're going. A third of the Lord down. Mount Shocker plus Black Dragon form committed already. There's the Fatal Links. Where's the response? Tlph secures it, and now they collapse onto JP. Flap takes him down. Crimson Beacon out of Sanji, already used to Purify. And Marco throws out these light wheels like there's no tomorrow. Sanford backs off, 2 kills for the Lord.
Again, you're seeing Team Liquid make the decision to, hey, zone them out while I secure the objective, and they want to disengage.
Tlph compromised by Owen. Dark Wave plus the stop, serving up a kill to Super Marco. They pushed here too.
Do you know what this feels like? It feels like I'm watching Haji back with Blacklist.
Oh man, it's a different style of play, and now the tier 3 turret in the mid lane of the base of TL is going to go down here.
Falcons demolished that inhibitor like it was nothing.
It was nothing, man. They can still got to deal with the Lord, but the Lords that TL has been taking pretty much resulted in nothing.
Because again, Falcons are so much better in the defense. They have a great counter punch, and they're playing around Marco. It's a Falcon-flavored ube. No healing, but it's just playing for your main core, not cores, core, with a Fredrin at the heart of it all.
Yeah.
Hey, it's like getting to that core of the kunafa.
Yeah.
What's the kunafa?
It's a Saudi Arabian delicacy.
Oh, is that the trending chocolate?
It's the one with pistachio. It is pistachio, but
yeah,
it's different.
One of these days, I want to try, what is that chewy cookie? The Dubai chewy
that's
cookie.
Dubai.
Isn't that the same thing, kunafa?
No.
Okay, well.
A few Habibis have just got, Habibi, what?
I'm sorry, I need to be educated. Right now, we're being educated on how Team Falcons has been able to maintain this game on a defensive lineup to protect Super Marco. That's the game plan. And it's interesting too, because Haji, the way he's activating this playstyle on the Solilia, is he's just enough to go ahead and whittle down the health bars, and even having a lantern himself, he's hurting these tankier members of Team Liquid.
Yeah, and with JP going down, Sanford going down really quick, there's not enough time for Teddy to do Teddy things on this Freya. This is one of the difficult things about the Freya come into the late game. Yeah, she really hurts, but so does the marksman that you're trying to take down. And as long as Falcons keep their formation tight and keep protecting Marco, they should be able to coast. This is going to be, again, another long game. As we've discussed, the potential of that happening over and over again with Fredrin making a big comeback for this series.
And it's just poetic, because Haji also flourished in the macro-centric era.
Yeah, that's why I said it feels like I'm watching Haji back with Blacklist. How many times have we seen Blacklist in the past where it's like, oh, they're losing the early game, the other team's getting everything.
Yeah.
Nope, you get the Lord, but we get you guys, we're getting bodies, and we get your tower and base. Then we'll play this defensive tool that for some reason you just cannot go up against.
That was also Team Falcons though, like when they were even previously Falcons AP Bren, and when they were AP Bren,
yeah,
like they master the macro level of gameplay. You know, I think that was a big point of why they even were able to win a world championship for M5. So you can see them, they're setting up around this Lord, they've got this dance figured out. TL, do they want to approach this? Teddy is swinging up here, quarter health.
Okay, Ogwin comes through, clashing with that Dragon, and Kyle secures. The fight continues. Flap with the winner crown, the freeze. Fatal Link. Super Marco still throwing him out, taking down Tlph, and he takes down Sanford. It's all about Marco, baby, as he scrams up a kill to Haji. Down goes Teddy. Kyle gets him, and now Ogun man-to-man defense with the Lone Stallion. How does this keep happening?
It looks like Falcons have found their new code!
They're inside the base. They're storming the core. Falcons even out the score, 2-2 against the defending champions.
Sometimes you just gotta call back and throw it back to what got you to the top in the first place. The stampede has slowed, and Falcons are flying steady. It is now anyone's series.
Hindi ako nagkakamali.
Tama.
And napakahalaga nun kasi invade meta tayo ngayon eh. Ang dami nag-i-invade. So, paano ka makakapag-level 15 agad?
Alrighty, welcome to the draft here. We're going to be jumping into Game 5. And this is great because either way, we're nearly there to the full series. This is what we wanted for the grand final. Team Falcons has figured something out, man.
Yep, and look at that. In 2026, Fredrin is now getting banned. First phase, blue side.
Does that mean the meta has shifted once again?
Yes.
Mid-series.
Because of how these two gentlemen introduced the Fredrin in the first game of the series, they can't be mad. It's just...
And you know what's going to happen?
What?
The rest of the world is going to take note of what's happening here tonight.
Watch your ranked games and see how Fredrin becomes first pick again.
You're going to be like, what? This is not the throwback I wanted. But that's what we're getting.
Drats, the Filipinos are doing it again.
Let's see if Falcons will ban out either the Freya or the Juicin. I think they're okay with the Freya, but then with the Fredrin now gone, that puts weight on the trades of Atlas, Valen, Leomord. Harley and Suyo are both open right now.
Yeah, Harley Suyo. What about the Jushin?
Yeah, the Juicin. I think Falcons opens the Harley Suyo trade, and then they consider banning out one of the mid laners, or... Yeah, it has to be a mid lane ban, it looks like.
Yomord is up 2. Who of the three, the prior big three, seems to be the least prio now.
I am a daughter of Northern Vale. I swear
This is interesting. Freya's actually going to be banned out? What do we...
This is
What do we
game
think about
5.
that?
This is game 5, so Liquid's choice to be blue.
And it bodes well for Falcons again that they open the Harley Suyo trade. The Paquito's open. Oh, the Paquito is open.
Is it like that?
That. Oh, look at that.
Does that warrant the first pick, Paquito?
Do it be like that?
Yeah.
I mean, we have seen first pick Paquito previously. Unless Tlph are worried that Falcons are prepared for it. Because it seems like Liquid's aggressive nature. No, they're not. Yeah, it's just a really good pick. I think Falcons would want to consider it this time, picking up a Benedetta. Instead of trying to counter it with like picks like the Esmeralda and all that, just go blow for blow with it, pick up a Benedetta for you.
Gentlemen, the 2 other times it was a blue side first pick Paquito.
Yeah.
Onyx did it, they lose.
Oh.
That was game 2 and 4.
2 and 4. And then what was the response on the other side for that when they lost?
Esmeralda Suyo.
Esmeralda Suyo,
and Kufra Eve.
Yeah, the Kufra was just out of like left field. That was kind of weird, but it ended up working. This answer right now is going to be the Guinevere. So Team Falcons will go Guinevere. Next pick, Eve. So this is solid though. Solid choices for Team Falcons.
Very good. I think Liquid needs to consider just defaulting into the Claude. They most likely get the Claude, but I'd want to see them consider a Moskov. Even, yes, this early in the phase, and then you pick up your jungler alongside with it. So you're going to have to show. I think Leomord would be okay. Harley's fine too, but then you're already very offensive with the Harley Paquito.
Yeah.
I think Liquid have realized that they can't just go blow for blow. Claude, okay, Claude, fine. Maybe I'm just bored of Claude. Get the Leomord.
I think that's a sentiment for a lot of people that have been watching throughout the playoffs.
Or Claude Harley. So you're just so much more mobile.
Yeah.
If something goes sideways, you just get out of there.
Yeah, but then again, as I was saying, it's like so greedy. So they hold off on their jungle pick. They pick up the juice in. Marco pick, for sure. Oh, doesn't need to be. It can be a flap pick, so that they don't run out of options for it. Are they just gonna Benedetta this early?
Benedetta or what? Do they want an Esmeralda?
I mean, it's only the Paquito right now you have to worry about are the shields. You're not really getting shields. There's a Claude on the other side. I think the Esmeralda might be too much of an overcook. Let's go Bene. Or Hilda.
Yeah, Hilda.
Yeah, Bene or
safe.
Hilda would be good, yeah.
Hilda might be the safe choice. Just go ahead, pick that up. You can still flex it if you needed to. Not sure if that'll happen, but find out what Team Falcons want to do. They're going to go with the Esmeralda.
Which is likely a Purify Esmeralda.
Yeah,
Purify, yeah.
Without even seeing what's on 4-5 blue for Liquid.
Four sources of magic damage, so you need a physical roamer unless it's either just gonna be. No, I think they still get the Hilda as their roam, and then they pick Esmeralda and the EXP. They take away heroes such as like High Loss and Gatot from Team Liquid Philippines.
It's been interesting to see the Khalid kind of slept on too, you know. Hasn't been picked up throughout the series just yet. Could be something that we see here throughout this, and I wonder what Ben Things is thinking.
Is that former coach Tic Tac?
Yeah.
Is that Tic Tac right there?
Yeah. From the corner of my eye.
I believe he was also here. Was it day 3? Day 3. I think I remember seeing Coach Tic Tac here.
What is Mima Dars right now? Who is Mima Dars?
It's just outfit change after outfit change.
Every game?
Yeah, I don't know if it's every game, but it's definitely a different outfit.
It looks like the red thing was like a cover.
Okay.
So maybe she just took that off.
Took that. Oh, good band right here, by the way. Respect, respect.
Super Mars, though. Look at that smile.
Super Mars.
All right, Super Marco's pick going to be banned out. He's had twice now where this carry has been a problem for Team Liquid. So we've got the glimpses of respect and target bans going on both sides.
But Liquid can't take everything.
They can't.
They choose if they give him the Moskov or the Harith.
Harith, yeah.
But they're going to want to give him the Harith because it's going to be Magic Overload.
Which is why I'm leaning a little bit more towards the Moskov. If they want to play the really close, tight game,
yeah,
I think it's warranted to consider a Bruno. Because you don't have burst outside of the Paquito. The Jushin will be forced to Crimson Beacon forward to try and take the Bruno out. You're gonna need an assassin for Carl. And I think we might want to consider a Lancelot for Carl.
Man, they got a dance party going on. They got a dance party going on over there on Team Liquid side.
Right here on the caster's desk too.
On the caster's desk too. They got it going, man. They're hyped up. I don't know how it started. I don't know if there is someone. Oh, they are dancing on Team Falcons too.
Yeah, they are. It's just a dance-off. We're having a dance-off in the crowd.
Yeah, over the crowd. They got the mega horn over there.
Yeah, Moskov, they knew that they're willing to give the Harith because of the magic overload. Falcons needs to consider something like a Bruno. Maybe a Clint even.
Yeah.
I think they get the roamer first though. Just get a solid front. Either pick up the Gatot or High Loss. Unless they go for fast. No, they don't need to go pick off. You need a solid front. They just can't be the Esmeralda.
Solid front. Some of the options here are narrowed down. Gattacacha still up in the choices here. A Hilda. What is going to be right now? The Suyo. Whoa. So Rome Gwyn. Rome Gwyn.
They swerve it.
I'm not even mad.
Yeah.
Because we're in dangerous grass.
Yeah, you get so many more vantage points to utilize the Gwyn.
Points of entry.
Yeah.
Easier. You're not as vulnerable.
Yeah.
Even if it is a full dive, you can kind of just disappear.
Not going to go Hilda. High Loss is too slow. Gatot so slow. Liquid might want to consider. And there's Paquito, so they need a solid front. Oh, Falcons, what a move.
Gentlemen, how crazy would it be if Marco went on a fighter?
If Marco did?
And they just bomb rushed Liquid. Because look at this lineup.
Laymord. Okay, they get the two horses. Mess with the Laymord and High Loss. What's your goal? No, yeah, you can't go Bruno anymore. You can't go. Clint might be okay. Harith is too much.
Yeah.
What if they go? What if they go YSS?
They go the YSS for gold.
Or
the Bruno. Does the Bruno still work in this?
Tough. Too tough.
Too tough.
I wouldn't gold Esmeralda. That would be overcooking. Don't do it, please. Please don't throw it onto Marco.
No, they don't have basic attack. They can't go fighter gold.
Oh, they just go the
They
Harris.
just double down on the Harith. Ooh.
And then, I reckon they just throw us Piercer
Yeah.
on a Kyle and they just go from there.
Yeah, it has to be a Sky Piercer Suyo. But what if all this magic damage is going to be too much for Liquid to handle? But we're dealing with a what if. The absolutes show Liquid, it looks good for them. And because it feels like a 50-50, San Juan Arena is erupting.
Oh, man.
Whoever wins is at match point. That is momentum through the roof.
Yeah.
You don't even understand how important it is to go to 3 points in the Clash of Titans.
It's down to a very pivotal game in this series. In the grand finals of this best of 7, the next team that wins this will be up to championship point. Will it be Team Liquid, who has lost 2 games now, against Team Falcons, who seem to have figured out the stampede?
Gentlemen, recall the last time that they did this, we literally extended the mall hours of Quill City Mall in Kuala Lumpur.
All right.
That went all the way and people could not leave their seats. They turned the AC off on them and they just said, no, let them finish.
When was this?
SBS season
This was
5.
2024.
2024 SBS. Oh.
Yeah, in Malaysia.
We stayed up till about 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Dang, man. This is a tense one. It looks like we are figuring things out on the side of Team Liquid, it looks like. So we're gonna have to wait a few minutes here before we jump into the game. It's been pretty smooth throughout the evening, but it looks like we are, we're taking some time here.
Scuba. Joseph, have you jumped on the scuba craze?
I haven't, man.
Try it.
The furthest I went was
Scuba.
6'7", and even then,
Scuba.
no,
Dude, it's fun. Try it.
I'm not doing it. Even in my head, I just say,
You're missing out.
I'm a grown man. Grown man, by the way. That's just, that's how I feel, you know, if I'm doing that.
You don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing.
I guess I'm growing old.
Hey man, you have your big goofy ducks.
No, I don't.
We see your story, sir.
That's true.
We know you got Carl.
Hey, everybody's got something, you know? Everyone has something that's keeping them young. I'm sure you can look at that because, guys, we can't be like the players right now jumping into game 5. We're done with our playing days, at least in Lanathon.
What I have is just undiagnosed. Okay.
All right, let's take a look at the emblems.
Yeah, pretty standard across the board. Oh, let's look at that trade in mid. Pretty aggro. And this is something about playing the Gwyn roam. I mean, we had our very clear opinions about it when Twisted Mind played it earlier this playoffs. It's just so highly punishable that now it's paired up with an Esmeralda. It's Haji who's going to be saving the Roman trio.
And it's tough because, especially in a laning phase engagement like this, there's not much the Guinevere can do. She shines when it's fighting time.
And it's so much magic damage. It's the Gwyn and Suyo though are a great combo because it's a long stun if you get hit by the Blade Surge and of course her jump.
Yeah.
So
there's a good combo with it.
Yeah, you can see the combo, you can see the vision. And the question is just, will it get to the point where magic damage is just too overwhelming or Radiant Armors are going to be Falcon's biggest enemy? Kyle's game with the Suyo is important too. Oh, forcing out the Flicker and Sanford. That's a great start for Turtle 1.
Through the wall too. 30 seconds till the Lord comes through.
Yep. Once that turtle comes up, they'll go ahead and get things into position. A Flicker being down from Sanford is a great start for Team Falcons to at least secure this. We'll see how they set up around it. Carl's just going to go ahead and grab a camp real quick. Ogwyn about to hit that level 3. And this is one of the great things I will say about a Roam Guinevere, though, is like you don't have to be that level 4 to bring value to these early skirmishes, these early fights, right? You have enough with the jump, that spatial migration to set things up.
You do most of your thing.
Yeah.
Marco gets the hit on the gold crab. Dangerous grass loading very well for the Suyo. Lots of angles, but Sanji, great zoning.
Okay.
In
Half
comes
up of the turtle.
Sanji. Crimson Beacon knocks up Kyle.
Whoa.
Kyle very low, has to surge on through. Queller as well. And now Flap dancing to protect that backline. Retreat, and they knock up Ogun. RWM defensively used by Haji. Conti's already secured the Lord. It's a win for Liquid.
That's what I call some big damn, and I don't know if Kyle was ready for it.
Turtle. Great combo there for Sansan. Sanji just brought Sanford 2 great burst targets, and one of them being the opposing jungler. So Kyle needs to watch out for how he gets vision and how he positions himself around the Lords and Turtles, knowing that Sanji is fearless with using the Crimson Beacon as a means to set him up. Usually you'd see that as a defensive tool or something like that, but no. Sanji is on set you up, kill you mode, and he needs to play more through Ogwyn and Flap.
Yeah, for those of y'all who don't know, when Zushin pops a Crimson Beacon, you get instant stacks.
Yeah.
So people just all the more easily
Fly around.
instantly thrown around.
Yeah, that's one of the strengths here, especially when you hit that level 4. But so far, this has been the course. I would say the pace that we've seen set up in the past previous games, where it's a little bit slower, you know, early on, instead of like game 1, game 2, where it would just come out swinging right away for TL. So they maintain a bit of a lead off of these little interactions across the map. But Team Falcons, now that you have a level 4 on Ogwyn, maybe they can look for setup potential.
Oh, still a very slow-paced game. You see the effects of game 3 and 4 in this. They're really just playing around for the objectives. No one's... Oh, wait.
Whoop. Flappier hit with the Law and Order. Used to back off. Had to purify. Glorious Pathway used up by JP already.
Yeah, Ogwyn wasn't able to knock up anyone because when the Glorious Pathway was brought down, that little bit of extra movement speed just meant that Ogwyn wouldn't be able to land the spatial migration. Unfortunate for him, I think him and Flap were looking for a bait play combo type.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Flap in trouble once again. 40 has lethal intent. Flap dashes through, catches a shield, and there's not much of action for Falcons either.
It's quite scary how much damage Teddy Paquito can do. Oh. All right, he should be fine. They're going to trade it. They don't have to trade too much. This is going to be an objective second turtle in the hands of TL.
Yeah, cross-map trades. Falcons know that maybe fighting the turtles are going to be a bit risky for them, so they're just getting the farm. They know it's important to get the Sky Piercer on the Suyo. But here comes the first item for Carl TZ. It is the War Axe, while Haji gets his glowing wand. It's not going to be a Sky Piercer rush. He full builds the Hunter Strike.
Probably best go ahead and build that anyway. He's been dealing with so much pressure towards him.
So 5 minutes in, Falcons haven't put anything on the board.
Yeah.
Are we afraid of them expiring? Is that the problem with this Magic-centric lineup?
Oh, well, the good thing is it's an Eve, and no matter how much of that Magic defense you build up, she will hurt.
Yeah.
And I think that's also the theory around this Harith. Falcons can play this game as long as they don't suffer any big losses. Again, their counter punch is really good.
It's one of those ones where it's like, you just wait. If you have to just kind of hold on, buckle in, and wait for the late game, especially when Super Marco's online, then you have all the tools you need to go ahead and set team fights up in your favor. So Team Falcons seems to just be taking that route. Like, let's just kind of sit in, get to this point where we can, and it's TL trying to actually find these moments to potentially make something happen. Good take there.
Wow. Teddy with the last hit. I think it was the Art of Thievery that got it.
Uh-oh. Flappier refusing to purify up until the last moment. Has to falling Star Moon into a wall just to survive. Sandy knocks him up, but it still lives. Kyle instead gets fell by Carl Teasy and served up a kill, a double over to Sanford. The RWM canceled here. Now Hodge has to flicker back. Cyclone Eye through as well, but JP will continue to pressure them. Ogwyn can't save him. Oh my lord, Haji gets squished here. Not much a Guinevere can do, and Liquid aren't done.
Under the tier 2?
Another double for 40. That's why they call him the Apex Predator.
And the straw that breaks the camel's back, you were just waiting for that moment where everything snaps, and it snaps in favor of Team Liquid. Again, they have the lineup for it, and Sanford now has secured all 4 kills for Liquid in this game.
Gentlemen, remember when we posed the question, should you not give the Paquito over to Sanford? I think that's been answered once again. You know, again, it was a priority pick. He's sitting on 4-0 now. He's already got that Hunter Strike, and you're seeing the way they play around it. I think that's why it's such a threat and why it is such a priority, because you're seeing how they're allowing Sanford. Let's see if he does something here. He's 1v3.
They're looking to shut him down. Quick knock up. All the ults thrown out, but here comes Sanji to save him. And the stand duo quill the trio from the Falcons. Oakland here. Lantern Flare.
He's got a combo.
Sanford knocks out Master.
Here comes Carl and JP.
And they go in. Double horse combo. Haji gets taken down. And Kyle does not know what to do. Carl gets a double. And Flap follows through. Sanford 6-0-1. Marco don't know 1-0.
That ain't no horse, that's a Ducati.
It never fails them. The Hylos and the Leomord together just has a good history for Liquid. And maybe the slight overcook was the fact that the Suyo ended up just going into the jungle and there was a roam Guinevere. Call me a hater of the pick, but just for the role specifically. But let's see. If Falcons can make a comeback so far, though, it is all a Liquid. Teddy's gold compared to Marco. He does have a 1,100 gold lead.
In comes another glorious pathway. Nowhere for Oakland to go. Goes sideways. And under goes Flap. Zaman Force. Oh! That does compromise Marco. Blazing Duet to the face. Teddy gets a double.
Teddy wanted some of the action. He just got a great placement on the Blazing Duet. And so TL has brought it to this point, an 8,000 gold lead. Where did this come from?
Win after win, massive 4 kills. They get towers out of that too. The fact that Super Marco couldn't get a big considerable win or lead against Teddy in the lane despite a few helps and rotations from Falcons because of how well Teddy was able to control the lane as well and keep himself alive.
Oh.
Yes, there's a lot of eyes on the Roman trio and the 4 horsemen. But Teddy's play in the lane was crucial for Liquid being at this point as well.
Oh, I feel you. I feel the crowd in here too, because
did someone pick a Hellcurt?
Yep, someone picking a Hellcurt here, playing with us. But right now, TL, easy take on the Lord. So they'll secure that. Team Falcons, they gotta just prep up and be ready. I was thinking buckle in for the series. Well, now, quickly, in a matter of a few minutes, 3-4 minutes, they're in their base buckling up. Let's see if they can make it happen. Haji picks up a Divine Glaive, but you're looking at the items. There's a massive disparity.
Glorious pathway, slowing down. Falcons retreat. Caldizi also calls in his Ducati. And that just opens up 40's push up top.
You got a Ducati. That's what Carl Tizzi's showing him right now on this Leomord. So far, the synergy between having all this threat AoE. I'm talking about the Hylos. I'm talking about the Jushin. Even Teddy. They have free pickings in these team fights and around these spaces in the jungle and into the base. All shields are going to pop. Lord will make its way down the bot, getting ready to charge in. JP's already in the base.
RWM by Haji. Just swiping away at the Lord. Requiem, put it in.
Teddy!
Teddy with a massive blazing duet. Taking down Kyle. Serving up a kill to 40.
Oh,
and now Flap falls in. That's a double. Mid lane tier 1 drops. 3 defenders left. Falcons are reeling as the Liquid slowly but surely take out Oakland as well. Oakland is holding on. Liquid at match point.
1 away from making history and solidifying themselves as the greatest, making it undeniable. 1 win away.
Now at championship point, if for some reason you've missed things, this is what we're at now. Championship point, we're going to Flying Clouds. Mind you, TL has not lost on Flying Clouds.
What is that, 17-0 now?
They're
Yep.
17-0. They're 17-0. They've got a 68% win rate on the red side, but I think this is, I don't know. Team Falcons has to figure something out for this draft.
Joseph, it's a fighting map.
It's a fighting
And
map.
Liquid are fighting champions.
They are, man. Gosh, this is, I guess this is you going against the odds if you're Team Falcons.
A punch for a punch.
Finally respecting the presence of the Paquito. Seems like we're gonna go back to the Harley, Suyo, Leomord, Phovius trade. Kalea hasn't been banned yet. Neither has Marcel. It's up to Liquid to take out the Marcel. Potentially maybe take out the Freya. Unless they open it and they just go full ooga booga. Yes, that is actual analysis, folks. Full damage, full speed, end the game in under 12.
Potentially, I don't know, man. As much as we just witnessed a stampede, a very quick game, I'm hoping Game 6 doesn't go that way. I'm hoping that when we start to see the picture painted here for Team Falcons, they lock in a couple of these heroes. We know the game plan they want to go for. They can't contest the Fredrin anymore. The utility bans are being out. They respect ban the Paquito. It's done too much to stop Team Falcons from getting the full flight they're looking for. And the last one is also that Freya ban that Teddy picked up.
Okay, this being Game 6, it just dawned on me. Falcons chose to be blue. Last night, they had all of the momentum. Even in this game, even in this match rather, they had all the momentum from red. Is this a clear sign of them saying something's got to change, something massive has to change now?
Yeah, it seems like a tailored draft is underway. 2 or 3 potential sets of them. They banned all the Freya, again, talking about the Freya and Marcel trade. So they banned the Marcel Liquid as expected. And so Liquid still has an avenue to go for the fast rush. Liquid can go Leomord High Loss again if it's available for them. If this is going to be Hardy, we could see a long game. It is an Eve rush. An Eve rush.
Okay, Eve rush. This is this worth the rush then? Like to go ahead and grab the blue side Eve?
Well, they'll get their combo. I think they're going to end up getting the Harith on the swing back. Liquid are probably eyeing just getting their Claude now. If it's not going to be the Claude, then they'll get the Moskov later. And then jungle picks all still active. Wouldn't be surprised if they leave their jungle pick just for a little bit later, pick up a strong EXP. We mentioned the Phoveus. But it could also be one of those scenarios where getting a Yuzhong later would be good. But it is a Phoveus and Claude, 2 of the picks that we expected. With the Harith, it'll be tough to get it now. I think they just double down on what worked for them in the past. Get the carry onto Super Marco. Consider the Suyo or maybe even the Leomord for Team Falcons. There's no Sora that you have to worry about. Now the next big picks you have to worry about might actually have to be the mid laner for Sanji. If Falcons show the Leomord, that's an easy Valentina pick for Team Liquid Philippines. You get to steal not only the RWM, but even the Phantom Steed.
Okay, next up, Guinevere. Oh, they're going with the Guinevere again.
For the love of all that is green and Falcons, I hope this is exactly what we think it is.
Yes. Gwyn jungle only.
Gwyn jungle. It can't be the Gwyn roam.
Joseph.
I'm not feeling it if it is, man.
That's what we thought in Game 5.
Yes. So keep it in the jungle. No, Team Falcons is going to come up with the best game plan depending on what these choices for Team Liquid are. And right now, the Harley comes through, at least for Colonel TZ.
Phoveus is going to be one of their big stoppers. I think Falcons needs to commit a ban onto the Gord and the Valentina. If not both, then one of those, and you take away a JP hero. But if you take away a JP hero, actually no, don't take away either the Hylos or Gatot, because Liquid will end up with one of those two. And there was a lack of heal, which is what hurt Falcons earlier. Keep the Hylos Gatot Kaka trade open. But the tough thing about that, Liquid might just also ban out one of the options. The more I speak about it, the more it seems like Liquid are getting closer and closer to just etching their names to the greatest. Still, Falcons are respecting the other picks. The Loyi, the macro would have been big for Liquid.
Yeah.
So many avenues they can still go through. I'm getting quite overwhelmed with all the options they could go for.
Yeah, a whole lot of choices here throughout the draft, but right now, as long as Team Falcons fixes what really messed them up in the previous game and ended up being such a stampede for Team Liquid, would be to solidify having one of the more beefy roams, maybe the ones that have a revitalize that you can run with, since you still have those options available to you. Maybe it's going to be a Khalid in the hands of Ogwyn. Maybe you get the Gatakacha. This Hilda is going to be banned out by TL just to due diligence, make sure that's not messing up the Claude, as we've seen for Teddy. So a good quality ban coming out from TL. Team Falcons, on the other hand, they still have one more option. They might continue to hone in on the mid lane options.
Yeah. They can't take away one of the roamers. So they have to make the choice whether it's the Valentine or Gord that's going away. Very honest, EXP jungle gold already. It's Roman mid that we're waiting for, Roman EXP.
I didn't cure.
It's the Valentina that they pick. Gord available for Sanji if everyone wants to go for it.
Oh, Gord Harley combo, man.
Gord
We've
Harley.
seen it.
Wait, if they Gord Harley, Flap gets the Sora.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why they banned the Val.
Yeah, that's what Tlph is waiting for. They probably pick JP's pick first and then wait to see what Flap's gonna go for. If they show the Gord, it's a very easy Sora,
But there
that's
is a
what the
Phobe.
Phobius. Again, it's not always an automatic counter, but it does not make it so easy to play it. It's more demanding of the execution for a team when Sora goes up against a team with a Phobius. With how long a Phobius can buy time for the rest of the team, Sora might not get the help it needs. A Cho for JP.
The Cho? Man, this combination, having the Cho and the Phobius, were big components of their win against Onyx.
If they want a big boss and a lot of crowd control, you consider either Batang or Atlas. And then for Flap, you have to get Burst. Get the Lapu or maybe even consider something like a Yuzhong. So my recommendation is Yuzhong Atlas, Yuzhong Batang. Getting a Kali to try and match the rotational speed of the Cho might not be enough for your team. And for the love of all that is good, put that Guinevere in the jungle.
Yeah,
This is where we find out.
Yeah.
This is where it happens.
Couple seconds will tell us what they're going. You get the thumbs up from Ogwin. It is. So Hylos will be the roam for Ogwin. Flap will get the Lapu Lapu. And we've got the Guinevere in the jungle.
So it's very similar to combo and execution to when they went to 2-2.
Yeah.
So a little more hope for Falcons here.
I definitely like this a lot more. What's the answer going to be in the mid lane for Team Liquid? They could simply just go the Gord, but they're going to go the Jushin instead, providing them with one of the strongest mid lane picks, if not the strongest hero for that role.
Cho and Jushin don't get the combo, but the Cho and Harley does. It's up in the air, and it'll all boil down to the first two turtles. Whoever gets those and how it looks after will be the winner. Will it be Liquid ending it here in 6, or will Falcons force a fated game number 7?
Man, we need that game 7, Team Falcons. I feel like this draft was the one that they needed. Let's see if we can make it to the full series. It all starts here because right now, after the stomp that Team Liquid had in the previous game, they are riding into the Land of Dawn on momentum for this one. So will they continue it forward, or will we see the Falcons once again soar higher?
Marco and Teddy, they go back into the last two players that made the walkouts for their teams, how they'll manage the laning, and how they'll manage the eventual mid-game power spike. Master Assassin for Super Marco, expected a Festival of Blood for Teddy. Cause Gwyn jungle will get faster access to cooldowns.
Yep.
After using the ultimate, but there are two purifies on the side of Liquid, and it's the main targets for this Guinevere, that Jushin and that Claude. Meanwhile, Marco is the only one packing a purify for the team, but there's a good amount of CC immunity built into the Falcons lineup as well.
Yeah, even with this.
Ooh,
Little.
forgets Crab. And he spams TP. You don't see it on screen, but you see it on the map.
Whoa!
Mid lane. Gonna drag him back.
Ogwin trying to get out of here. JP secures it. And a flicker out of Haji might go down as well. And Carl finds him. The GOAT is bloodthirsty.
One kick from JP, and that's not even the way of the dragon. It was just literally an attack. And you've got 2 kills now for Team Liquid.
A mishandling of the trade. Carl Teasy, after going full orange side clear, shows up, exchanges basic attacks, and he shows up just at the right time as Sanji and JP layered their crowd control together. Who in 2026 shows a Genflix Aerowolf emote? That is a
that's
deep
elite,
cut.
That's
dude.
elite ball knowledge right there.
That's elite ball knowledge.
I wish I had that knowledge. Now I do. Thank you.
Those were the times, Joseph.
Those were the times.
Very old ID team.
So now with this lead, Turtles up, first one of the game. Team Falcons is looking like they want to go ahead and grab control of it. TL, want to contest? JP, relying on the Jeet Kune Do here.
It's him against 4 members of Falcons. In comes Sanji with the Crimson Beacon. Requiem helps Kyle secure. Turtle goes over to Falcons, and Sanji gets taken down. They trade for Kyle. Now Oakland caught inside RWM by Haji. In comes the dunk from 40, and 40 gets taken down by Oakland. Carl takes down the big horse, and SOD, no one home. Falcons win, but just barely.
Yeah, Kyle had to use his Violet Requiem. Teddy blazing to win, and they are gonna steal the purple away.
Kyle is hungry. That's his lunch money.
What a perfect play there by Liquid, but Haji got the last hit. Void Blast from the Eve.
Okay. Haji says thanks.
Carl didn't have the retribution, so it went from bad to good.
Yeah, not too bad. This gives Haji a little bit of a advantage in the mid.
Oh, they dogpile on a Sanji. He purifies, but he gets taken down still. Now JP, tail end of the Bravest Fighter dodged. Falcons pick off.
That is Onyx-esque in how they executed that. They found the pickoff right away, forced out the Purify from Sanji, but Sanji already took too much damage. The aggression. Falcons needs to keep this up if they want to force game number 7.
Yeah, just when you thought, you know, Team Liquid was pressing on that same pedal that they've seen in game 1, 2, and even the previous game 5, they get to this point where Team Falcons has responded. That's great for them. They made the adjustments they needed. Super Marco's been able to go ahead and just farm up in his lane. He did throw out an SOD earlier. I'm not sure if he would have followed that up or not, but still, part of this game plan from Team Falcons has been leaning towards Haji, leaning towards Super Marco later in the game, and that's still a potential here on this Moskov.
Guinevere has been one of the signature picks for Falcons this season. Often banned. Early on, it showed up as a surprise pick that ended up working out really well. Flap had to use the Bravest Fighter for the CC immunity so that, for that little jump, so that he would not get caught by Liquid, and he is safe.
Oh, in comes Kyle, forcing a blazing duet from Tere. He lives. Didn't even need to use the Purify.
Yeah, that's going to be Turtle going to Team Liquid, but now Falcons have to trade it up for the tower up top. How much will they get? Seems like not much.
In comes Sanji. RWM, Carl DG secures the Turtle off camera. Haji swiping away. Ogwin comes through. Last minute. Glorious Pathway forcing a Crimson Beacon out of Sanji. No dice for Falcons.
Okay, so they trade for objectives. TL doesn't end up losing anybody off of that, but there was definitely an attempt from Team Falcons. They just couldn't capitalize on the kill, so it's pretty much an even trade.
I'd rather have this than them overextend and end up with nothing either way.
Yeah, it's a good thing also that Teddy didn't need to use his Purify the last one, just the raw power of Blazing Duet, Fighter Emblem, Festival of Blood, keeping himself alive through raw, lifesteal, and spell spam.
And I think just the movement speed that he got, it just allowed him to get out of dodge.
Yeah.
Good moves here on both sides right now. Team Falcons just slowly cooking with this lineup.
700 gold lead now for Super Marco, so that rotation from the Falcons ended up helping their cause. They want to get their Moskov out of this lane quick.
They want to get him out here quick. Part of that is just continuing to let Super Marco do this. Again, I think even if he lands the SODs in the last turtle, it depends. You know, he's right there on that side of the map. If he has an opening, he'll take it. If not, he continues to scale up on the Moskov. So far, though, your advantage is fighting around Haji. Potentially Kyle's threat.
Whoa!
Like this.
Requiem finds JP. But JP does live. Oh, Haji with the RWM clutch today. Defensive use of the BMI. A pickoff is a pickoff.
Carl TZ almost got taken down. If Falcons got that, that would be a snowball start. But they did get JP. They use a lot of abilities for that, though. And again, the Gwyn, so fearsome in the jungle.
Yeah, that's the threat that we're looking for here.
The real deal.
Oh, wow, nice Spirit Misery.
Massive by Marco, and they didn't even overcommit. They just wanted the turret. Now Carl DZ coming in. Teddy and JP looking for targets. Ogwin holding it down. Ogwin gets taken down here. Carl secures.
So that gives them a clear sign to go ahead and secure the last turtle of the game.
Yeah, a bit of a misplay there by Falcons. Liquid knew that Ogwin didn't have his Revitalize yet. They were counting, they marked it, and they got turtle number 2.
Turtle 3.
3.
Their second.
Their second turtle.
Oh, their second.
Is what I meant.
He was right,
You were right.
but also,
I am right. So we're all right.
Yeah. We were talking. We were talking about the first 2 turtles, but it ended up becoming dead even because no one got a clear lead. But now this turtle 3. Ooh, Falcons needs to start getting towers off the sides. That's how Teddy and Liquid were able to get one up top. So now it's going to be Kyle helping out Super Marco to break this. Just a trade yet again
top
across
lane,
the
though.
map.
Oh yeah, they're gonna trade it. Teddy just does a bit of damage that one, but that will be the tier 1 falling.
That's a lot of minions, man. Even with a damage reduction of the turret, it still took out way too much health.
oh, and Flap is taking his time. He doesn't trust the map. He doesn't know where JP is. Nor Carl, so he's not sure if he wants to overcommit to the defense.
Look at JP right now, man. He's just behind enemy lines, just taking a gander around.
One might say light-like.
Yeah, looks very light-like at this point. They want to go for this tier 1.
Oh
Deadly
my
Magic.
lord! Deadly Magic, it's Hanjo catches it.
Yep, they'll be alive though. A bit of a body block there by Ogwen. Kyle thinking about recalling back to base or staying in the pixel. And he makes the right call and goes back. As Liquid now have control of the river and the map, Falcons' time is running out for their mid-game. But their time comes back online for the late game through their Moskov and their Eve.
Yeah, that's what they're playing here for. Tier 1 going to be worked on again. TL playing around this advantage of mobility where Team Falcons is centered up. Kyle won't land. Whoa!
Dear
Super Marco.
Lord! Marco put within an inch of his health. He stays. Ballsy.
The same area where Marco spotted out Carl Tlph when it was the carry versus the YSS. There was it.
Carry versus Harley.
Harley, there, thank you.
Look at Teddy again.
Opening up the map.
Marco's getting there.
Yeah,
Flying clouds.
Falcons are lost in their own jungle and in their own side of the river because of the threat of the Cho and how fast it can rotate. They really cannot read the rotations of Liquid.
They don't trust it. Bravest Fighter from Flap, forcing one from Sanji. And now in comes the Bravest Fighter, blazing to win inside the RWM. Teddy trying to deal some damage. Sanford caught through. Does flicker out.
That's a great pick. This is the Lord up. Carl Tlph still up though, so Team Falcons, even with taking out Sanji, they still have to be cautious.
They see Harley.
Just like against Onyx, as long as they pick off the Zushin, they are ready to go. Lord here, within a tenth of its health, and Kyle secures. Oakland will get picked off though. JP taken down. Flap is wailing away. Will get taken down here. And now Carl and Teddy. Kyle with the setup and the freeze. Oh, he gets taken down here. Pyrrhic victory for Falcons.
They get the Lord, but they lost too much. Liquid with the pedal on the gas. Falcons tried to get some kills, but Liquid were able to sidestep and survive. The Lord, though, will still be able to get out of the Falcons base. It spawns now. While Flap is back in 5, Kyle is back in 11. Falcons will be able to push out.
6 games in, one thing is true.
Yeah.
RWM plus the SOD and the SOM. Haji with a shutdown. Carl falls. Traded out for. Looking for more. Super Marco here. That's too much pressure. He flickers back. Dodges back rather, but it's too much. And there's not much of a punish from Falcons as they get run through by Liquid. Sanji with a Crimson Beacon. Infernal Pursuit by Sanford. They both just live. And the Lantern Flare from the chef.
One thing is true, that might have been an overstep.
They got the Harley, but it cost them too much. Still, the members of Falcons will return, and this Lord will get the charge and pop the passive. In the big picture of the macro, it works out for Falcons. In the small picture of the gold, in terms of the outplays, Carl Tlph is 3 levels ahead of Kyle.
But that never stopped Falcons.
Yeah.
More than once in this series, Kyle stepped up and knew that it was all about utility. And if there's a way for Falcons to slow this down, that's what they gotta do. Time and again in this series alone, you've seen as long as it's slow and steady, Falcons win. But if it happens in the blink of an eye, even if it's Falcons who engages, initiates, Liquid wins.
Oh, look at this.
He's into this.
That's a kick onto Ogwen, RWM, plus the Glorious Path to use defensively. SOM into the wall. A lot of damage coming in from Marco. Now he takes down JP. Sanji with the Crimson Beacon, compromising Super Marco. Teddy with a blazing duet, taking down Flap. Taking down Ogwen as well. 2 for none. Make it a 3 for 1. Teddy with a triple. Sanji finds Marco. 4 for 1. And that's the wipeout. Teddy is a maniac.
The minion waves are far, but does Liquid have the damage? Does Liquid have the speed to march through the mid and into immortality?
They're taking it down the tier 2 turret. You have a couple seconds for Team Falcons to come up. JP will immortality tank this turret. They'll just get that and go reset.
Slow it down. Liquid have demolished that mid lane inhibitor.
Oh!
Now in comes the rest of Falcons. JP dashes on through, flickers out. Glorious pathway, SOD. Sanji does use the Crimson Beacon to survive. Super Marco into Teddy, blazing duet. BMI through, and Haji punishes him. There's a shutdown. Ogwen gets taken out here. 2 for 1 the trade.
Teddy makes it happen from steady Teddy to deadly Teddy.
It cost him his life, but it's 2 members of Falcons who fall. But Falcons also made the right call. But Liquid got the counter. It's not over yet. They're still fighting. This is why they're the Titans.
Oh man, this spear and a great beacon from Sanji.
Nature.
But look at that, Teddy there for the team and comes out swinging.
Still could be anyone's game, folks. But the map is blue. And I'm not talking about the color of the Falcons towers. I'm talking about Liquid. Still in control, but Falcons, they're not going down without a fight. They keep on fighting. Marco has SOD.
Oh, this is deadly dance. Lord here at the tent of its health. Kyle comes in. Teddy secures. Glorious pathway. In comes Teddy. And there's a Requiem, but no follow through. Ogwen here is going to get taken down. Sanji gets in. Kyle taken out. Teddy finds another. What's Marco thinking? Chubby wave down bottom. Oh, they sent Sanford back to defend.
Falcons needs to withstand this. Haji didn't use his real-world manipulation, so we'll have it with him. But Kyle and Ogwen are down for too long. And it's 5 against 3. The 4 horsemen and their Teddy. Liquid and the cavalry are feeling it.
It's possible that they turn into the 4 horsemen and the GOAT. There's the RWM. Lord still standing. Sanji taking a lot of damage with hoof stomps. Heard through history. A stampede by the cavalry. Going back to back to back.
Team Liquid Philippines are your FPL Philippines Season 17 champions.
We are all witness to a legacy that will withstand the test of ages. Emulated, never to be replicated. Their fierce gallop into immortality will echo forever. Team Liquid PH are the greatest of all time.
One hell of a grand finals we had here in San Juan Arena as all sides erupt with the ending we had here. 6 games of distinct action on both sides. One hell of a series, and again, congratulations. The Titans roared here in San Juan.
Carl Teasy kept his promise. Snap, Aeon, and Teddy got their titles.
And San Juan Arena still remains his home. A gold medal in 2019, 3-peat in 2026.
We've been the We Bear Bros. Thank you so much for joining us here. Let's throw it over on the stage for our winning ceremony.
They fell 1 step short, but they fought a good fight. Maraming salamat, Team Falcons! And now, MPL Superfans, make some noise for your Season 17 champion, Team Liquid Philippines! Team Liquid Philippines, get ready to lift the trophy that you earned. 3, 2, 1. Weeks of grinding and sacrifice, all leading to the single moment of immortality. Welcome, your FPL Philippines Season 17 champions! To present the mock check, may we call on Mr. Victor Kabuay. the Philippine Esports Organization Project Manager.